Okay guys, how are you? So today we're going to show you guys how to present an offer, starting out with the buyer from scratch all the way to the very day of closing, okay? So not only are we going to tell you the steps that we have to take, which are the forms that we have to take as well too, but how to fill them out. And then modifications as well too. Because sometimes these exclusive buyer's brokerage agreements, which is the same thing as an exclusive listing agreement. Whenever you represent a seller, you have to sign an exclusive listing agreement by law, correct? We're going to be doing the exclusive seller's listing agreement next week. We'll be doing that class. All the forms, all the documents from beginning to the very end, that'll be next week. So this week we're going to represent a buyer. Next week we're going to represent, we're actually going to do 2 classes next week. So we're going to represent a seller, and we're going to represent a rental as well too. But anyway, let's go over the whole process basically. So just, well, you guys know this here, and I'll just skip all that. All right, you guys know that all these classes, besides you can watch them on YouTube and Facebook, because I think I put them back on again. We just eliminated all the from August of 2024 back. We eliminated them all. So I mean, that's probably about 85%. We still got about 15 more. I got to sit down with the ed and go over them and eliminate them. Why? Because those laws are no longer in existence, and their ways are completely outdated, and their forms are completely outdated, and their steps of a realtor that must follow are completely outdated. All right. Where can you watch these classes? You can either watch them live, or you can come into our PRI classes, PRI/classes.com, okay? And for the English class, PRI/.com. Go in there. You're going to have to register one time. You're a partnership Realty Realtor. If you're not, we'll know. We'll click you out, okay? But this is our library. Everything is in there. It's amazing. It's got everything. So all these classes will be there, so you can watch it afterwards. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to go over this here with you. Not going to go. I've done all this with you guys. All right, releasing cancellations. I do want to talk about that before we get into it. Okay, a lot of people are having issues with releasing cancellations. They're submitting an offer in, and sometimes, you know, they'll put an escrow in. Some money in escrow before the property goes, the offer becomes a contract. All right. If it doesn't become a contract, we can take the money back out because there is no contract. So would we need a release and cancellation? No. Do you guys have to turn in that file? Yeah, you do by law, by DBPR and the Real Estate Commission law. Okay, we have to file it away. Every real estate agency in the state of Florida has to file it away for 3 years. Okay, so you guys have to send it in. Where do you send it in? Right here, dead deals files. Darn it, sorry. Dead deals, expired, and cancels must be sent into the office. So you're going to send it into right here where it says PRI deaddeals@gmail.com. That's pretty safe. It's pretty easy. So now what happens? And this is where I wanted to talk about this. It gets a little bit complicated. What happens when you submit a deal in? You know, the realtors, you got 3 days because you're putting it right on the offer and the as contract that just got executed. You got 3 days to get this money in escrow. You realtors really have what? 1 day. But by the second day, if you can't get a hold of your client, you really need to start contacting me. I mean, you're getting red flags everywhere that I'm calling you and you're not answering me. You know, there's something wrong there. You're not responding to me by the second day. You should be excited. We're under contract. Hey, listen, you know, I want to get this money in escrow. And you're not hearing from them. Those are like red flags popping up everywhere. Call me up. We're not going to alert yet the listing agent and the poor seller. We're not going to do that. But by the 3rd day, and you still haven't heard from this individual, you guys have to be calling me. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. And then we're going to address it. You know, we'll just address it like we always have when things like this and other things like this arise. So it could be that someone could be sick. That could be. I've had them before. I mean it. They've, we've had these horrible flus going around. They're just as bad as a freaking COVID. I don't know, but they can answer their phone. Come on, or someone can. If we find out it's just take them a day or so, then what we're going to do is we're going to get an extension for the escrow deposit. We're going to get them an extension. Now, the great thing about this is that our title agency, it's just like a mobile app. If they can be literally in the hospital, okay, or anywhere, hopefully not in the hospital because they're under meds, and then they're going to go, oh my God, I didn't know what I was doing. So hopefully they're on I don't know what this case may be. I really don't know what the scenario is. Thank the Lord, it doesn't quite happen, okay, but it does happen once in a while. If the guy's got to travel, he just didn't calculate. Some people don't understand how important really a contract is. Listen to those words, a freaking contract. It's telling you, it's a contract, okay? It's an obligation, all right? And they just take off vacation, travel, or something like that. Let's get the extension. Let's get them over there. They have a bank account here in the United States. They can just do mobile app. Come into a Title Partners app, and we will take their escrow check. They're going to write it all up to Title Partners, and we've got classes right there on priclasses.com. And they could be anywhere in the world as long as they got internet. They're going to go in there, and they're going to hover over it, and then take a photo shot in the front and back. Boom, the money's in escrow. Everyone's going to get alerted. Listing agent, you, and all parties involved will be, So they really don't need to be here. But okay, let's get back to it. Let's say it's 3 days. 3 days. We have to let the listing agent know. We have to let the seller know. And we need a release and cancellation because we're under contract. But the escrow deposit is part of that contract. It is part of the contract, okay? The escrow deposit is part of that contract. So we don't have a contract. We don't have any escrow deposit in there. So when you go to write it up, I'm going to just show you this example here. You need to put in all names, okay, that's on the contract. Just don't put one name, put all names that's in the contract. But what if there was no money given? Then you put 0 there, okay? And you could also put down beside their name that there was no money, there was no escrow ever provided, So no money held in escrow. But we still need to get everybody's signatures, okay? And then where does it go? To prideaddeals, at gmail.com, okay? The whole file, by the way, the whole file needs to come in. All right, so this is a really important one here because we run into this once in a while. Any questions on this here? Nope. All right. Yeah.
So I understand this is part of the process of the having this release and cancellation on file. But if you don't, if the customer doesn't put the escrow, the money on escrow, anyway, the contract is going to be canceled after 3 days.
Yeah, but you still need this.
If the seller is not willing to proceed, the contract will be canceled anyway. Yeah,
you still need this. And we need that file.
Okay.
Any real estate agency or brokerage firm that you work for is going to require the file. It's just state law, So yeah, but you still need your release and cancellation. Now, you're going to send it in. Good question. You're going to send it in, and what if the listing agent doesn't want to cooperate, right? Well, I'm not signing this. I'm not having my seller sign this. But at least you sent it in, and you have the email that you sent it in. You followed the law. Right. Let me tell you, I've had many cases where people have come back and said, I want to go through with it. I didn't know about it. I wasn't told about it. They come up with some really, stories. And they really do. You know that one. You know they do. That's why you laughed. They come up with some weird stories, okay? And we're not going to say no to them. We're going to go, okay, I believe you. All right. Anyway, so we have to make good of it. We have to make good of it. But we want to make sure we did our side correctly. Because what if the seller says, I'm not giving you an extension. I'm not moving forward because he got a better offer. You can't blame the seller. So honestly, explain to your clients how important it is, the escrow deposit. Because you're absolutely correct about that. Seller says, and then we get better offers. It's a buyer's market right now. It truly is. It's a buyer's market. I'm seeing some phenomenal deals out there. It's exciting for buyers. Truly, truly exciting. And if you're getting seller contribution like a lot of our realtors are you kidding? You can do buy downs. You can actually do buy downs and get them a phenomenal deal. 30-year fix, yeah, phenomenal deal, you know, and with great interest rates. So yeah, ask for the 6% seller contribution, 5%, 4%, whatever you can get. And then you can incorporate a buy down in there. So I don't know. It's a buyer's market, guys. It'll change. I'm hoping it changes when the interest rates go down. You're going to see things just move greatly. But right now, it's a buyer's market. So anyway, yes, make sure that you have a copy of that email in your file and you have a copy of that being sent to it. It'll show it as the attachment, you know.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I apologize.
I had a buyer. She got counter offer. But she denied. She said, I don't want anything. So should I have this form? Because she sent me email.
But they never executed a contract.
No.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You just send it in anyway.
No. She just said, no, I don't want it.
No. So you represent the seller.
No, buyer.
You represent the buyer, but the listing agent got a better counter offer.
They send an offer and a seller's agent need a counter offer.
Yeah.
But then she saw controversy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Yeah. All right, she's got the right to. She's got the right to.
That's okay, right? She sent email. That's okay, or I have to have this form?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It didn't go under contract. It's only when it goes under contract when we don't get that escrow deposit.
Oh.
Yeah. But guys, it's not even. I'm just talking about buyer side today, right? Well, this happens quite a bit to us on the listing side. Whenever we are the listing agent and we don't get that 3-day escrow deposit, you guys should still be getting a hold of me. I'll be going over this on the seller side, but I shouldn't have ignored your question right there. I should have ignored it. You know, you're right. Yeah, you know, so either or. Please close out all files. Guys, you guys know that this is MLS. This is mandated by MLS right here. So I've seen these other listing agents put themselves down here. It's completely inaccurate. And all MLSs and NAR and everybody, they want good data. They need perfect data. So your name, Partnership Realty, the day it closed and the price and everything goes down there. So when you see that they close out a listing, just check with me. We'll send a courtesy notice to them to get it fixed. If not, MLS will get it fixed, and you don't have to do another thing about it. All we have to do is just let MLS know about it, and MLS compliance will take care of that, okay? They'll take care of that, and they'll handle it. But accuracy is definitely. Now, when you guys close out, if you guys close out, you're the listing agent, you got 2 days to close this out. So you want to put the buyer's agent down there. What if the buyer's agent is not in this MLS? You can either call tech support for that one or contact me, okay? Because they're not going to be in there, so we don't have an MLS number for them. We don't have an office code and so forth. You still need to contact me. You just don't put your name down there, okay? All right. Those are easy ones, right? You guys know where all the files are at, right? I don't have to tell you. They're in Form Simplicity. This is our back office. Everything's right there in blank forms. And then there you go to form packages, and everything is there. Everything. I don't care if you're selling a $200 million property or you're selling a $12,000 vacant land. Everything's in there. You know, realtors sometimes don't know where they're at. So the good thing they're watching this on class. All deals are sent here to Leslie, to pripayme@gmail.com. A lot of realtors send it to me. I don't know why, honestly. I don't do payroll, and I don't close out these files. So how about showings now? Let's talk about that one. Us here, when I did this class in another county, which I'm not going to tell you the name of it, it's completely different, okay? They have a habit over there of doing certain things that I'm not too in favor of, and in Palm Beach County, we don't. Martin, Stewart, you know, we honestly don't. Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot of good realtors, but there's other realtors that have some really bad habits. which I talked to a few of them over the phone just in the last couple of weeks, and I thought that was surprising. A few is a big number. I expect a few in maybe in a year, not a few in a couple of weeks. So, and these were from other office. I mean, this was I was shocked on, where they called up. Thank God our realtor called me up immediately that they wanted to send their client, and in many cases they might just give the lockbox code, to the client. You can't do that. You can't ever do that. You have to be present at all showings. And even if it's vacant and you're going to come back around again with another client or the same client, if they want to look at that property again, you need to get showing instructions all over again, okay? So a lot of us, when we print out our MLS listings, there's one that says public, another one says private. So the public goes to the actual client, and private goes to you. Please don't write in the lockbox code number on the front of your listing agreement. Maybe put it in the back, put it in your notes, I don't know where. But just don't put it in the front where they can see it. I'm not saying your clients are not nice and they're not, but still, listen, we're not supposed to put them on there and right in the front. And I have seen that before where people put it right in the front there, so don't do that. So again, if you're going back for a second showing, make sure you get confirmation and read that confirmation really, really carefully. Here's a big one. Don't share Supra. Don't share Supra. Even if it's husband and wife, right? And they got one Supra. No. Now, you can't. Supra sharing is not. I mean, it's okay to have teams, but you can't share Supras. It's a big fine. It's like $5,000, $6,000 fine for that one, something like that. Either between $5,000 or $6,000 to each one. Okay, for $125, it's not worth it. It's truly not worth it. I'll just pay the $125. Are you kidding me? To have my own Supra and things like that. And if you guys are going to another county here in the state of Florida, you can call up Supra and they'll give you access to go and open up in other counties. All right, call up Supra. So if you're going up to, for example, Orlando, Tampa, anywhere like that, Ocala, I don't know, Lehigh Acres, it doesn't matter, okay, that you don't have access to it. Dade County, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you can call over there, Supra, and they'll give you access for that day, so you can open up. I think you got to pay for it. I'm not sure. Honestly, I really don't know if you have to pay. I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it. There's nothing free in this world. But that one there, I'm talking without knowing, okay? Because it's been a while since I don't sell properties. Supra you have to pay. Well, in another county, I'm talking about. Yeah, I guarantee you got to pay too. Oh, yeah, I guarantee you. I'm going to go on the win on that one and say, hey, yeah, you got to pay. All right. Here's the big one before we get started. So we're getting showing agreements. I mean, we're getting showings, and we're going to be sending out these MLS reports. You can't get that showing instruction without signing that. Have you guys seen that? Yes. You have to click yes. What does that yes mean? That you're telling everyone, MLS, you're telling NAR, that you do have the proper paperwork signed that's required up front, and that's what we're going to go over right now. But look at this. You're not going to get that showing instruction, all right, unless you click yes. And what if you click yes and you don't have it? Then you're lying. You know what I mean? You're going to get, I've already seen some small fines. The first year, they're going really soft on this here. I've seen some small fines, but let me tell you something. Second fine and third fine are not going to come in small, okay? So it's really simple. It's just knowing what to do. What are the steps? What are the documents? How to explain it to them and how to fill it out. So here, when you click yes, you're saying, hey, I've got it. It's already signed. All right, so when you get the showing instructions, and this is another really big one, you're going to see that it says right up on top, showing confirmed. Okay, now this was another $5,000 to $6,000 fine. All right, when you're say showings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or you have a long weekend, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and you're showing 5 or 6 properties per day, all right, or 4 or 5 per day. Sometimes those things will just blend in one with the other, correct? And you might ask for a showing for that particular date and time, but guys, if you don't look down here, you're going to be going and trespassing into someone's home, totally legal, all right? And there is the listing agent and the seller, or basically the listing agent, can report you, and compliance is going to take over. Listing agent doesn't do anything else. They're going to take over. You went into someone's home totally freaking illegal, all right? And unauthorized, by the way, too. So when you get confirmed up here, please look down here and make sure it's going to have your time, but it's going to have another date on it, like tomorrow, probably the next day. Guys, please. And another thing, you know what I love doing with my listings? My listing, whenever I'm going to show a property, I got a listing report, I staple that fellow right on. And I keep copies of that. I keep copies of that inside my desktop, per clients. I keep copies of all of this because I don't want them saying, oh, you didn't go in there. Another thing here, going back to lockbox, totally forgot to mention that one here. Let's go here, lockboxes. I'm encouraging this one here. I'm truly encouraging it. Do you guys know those nanny cameras? They're like nothing. They're like super cheap. You can even get them for your car. It's not a nanny camera, but you got them. With like $35, $45, they're phenomenal. They will save you like on a freaking accident and like who's guilty and who's not guilty, all right? Those cameras, they get front, back, sides, and everything. Well, anyway, for listings now, most homes have cameras. Most homes, and some of these cameras you can't even see them. But if they don't, I'm putting a camera in there for my investor, because I deal a lot with investors. So I'm putting cameras in there. Okay, these cameras, honestly, you're not even going to know what they are. Most of the times they're like a time clock, and you're going to go, oh look, it's 12:15. Excellent. Yeah, you're being watched. And I can talk back to you, by the way, too. Is your realtor with you? So meaning people are sending clients in there, giving them the lockbox code. Clients are going in there, and these cameras, man, this is for the safety of everything in there of my client. That's my job, is to protect my client's interests. Not only the paperwork, but their transaction, their home, and all of their personal belongings in there. So I encourage that. And the great thing about that, once you program these cameras, and I put a little sign up there, you're on camera. Yeah, just like you guys have them here. It's supposed to be here somewhere. You are here. Oh, it's down there. There it is. There's one there and there's one back there. You guys are on freaking camera. Okay, so yeah, it's a small little, and you take it with you. You take it with you, and once it's programmed into your cell phone, I mean, it's unbelievable. You see when someone's coming in. Your phone alerts you to let you know what's coming in there. And they have these cameras nowadays that do like this and you just follow. I mean, right? They're unbelievable. I love them.
What if you have a vacant property, there's no Wi-Fi there?
Yeah, no, vacant land. They could do everything except come in with a chainsaw. I don't care what they do there.
I'm talking about vacant property, vacant house.
Oh, that's the ones I put cameras in, mostly. Yeah, because I work with investors.
You don't have a Wi-Fi there.
I do get Wi-Fi, yeah. Most of them I'm doing like condos and things like that, or I will get temporary Wi-Fi. Yeah, or I get the seller to have it.
Get new service for that property.
But that all condos, the Wi-Fi is included. So Wi-Fi is included, water's included, and a bunch of other things included. But I will get Wi-Fi.
Single-family homes.
Listen, he's my investor. This guy will leave me so many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, okay, per year. I'm doing the right thing. Are you kidding me? Look at the paycheck. Look at the paycheck. You know what Wi-Fi is going to cost me for a couple months? What, under $100? And I'm going to get a check from him for, what, $20,000, $30,000? I will put triple Wi-Fi in there. I will put quadruple Wi-Fi in there. I'll put freaking cameras. I'll put whatever. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, no, that's just me, okay? And, I would put Wi-Fi, yes. put it in there. You call them up, put it temporary. They just put it in there temporary, you know.
Going back to the showing confirmation, let's say you have a showing confirmation from noon and you're running late. You call the guy up, the listing agent, and he says, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have to change something online.
Oh my God, thank you. That's such a big one. Oh my God, that's a phenomenal one. The rest of this class is boring. I swear to you. No, man, that is the.
You guys experience it, and I just cover myself.
Yeah.
And okay, listen.
Yeah.
My buyer's not here yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be another 15 minutes, and I get on the phone.
Yes.
If they answer.
That's the professional, ethical thing to do. Professional, ethical thing to do. Okay? Common courtesy. That's all it is. You know, most listing agents like me, I'll go to the property and I want to be there to present it. I want to sell it. And I have a better chance on selling because I know the community really well. I know all the amenities really well. I know the surrounding. I know everything that's going on really well. Most of these realtors that are coming in with their clients, they barely know it. I never interrupt unless they ask me. I always ask them, listen, guys, you know, please feel free to, you know, to go and see the home. You guys have any questions, or you want me to update you a little bit more on the amenities, what's coming up with the community and things that are happening around? I am here, and most of the times when I explain it to them like that, they do come back. But I never like jump into someone's client and I become the realtor. No, you don't do that. You do let them know that you're here to be able to help them and let them know of all the great things that are happening and why this is such a great condo to buy. Okay, so again, going back to your question, seller, if they are living there, they're getting prepped, they're probably, you know, preparing the property really nicely to be seen. They have pets, they're taking them out. They have children, also taking them out, you know. And listing agents sometimes are showing up. That would be so unprofessional not to call up and either cancel it. But don't cancel it 15 minutes afterwards. Don't cancel it 4 hours afterward. You know you're not going there. What's it going to cost you to send an email or a text from your cell phone? And please ask for confirmation, a receipt of this email.
Yeah.
Just please ask for it. Now that they didn't answer back, that's a totally different scenario. That they didn't answer back, but please ask for confirmation. I always do. Please confirm receipt of this email. I always do. Okay. So anyway, yeah, please don't, you know, if you're running late, what's common courtesy? Send them a text, an email. Listen, I'm running a little late. Can you please if you know it's vacant, I'm running a little late, I'm going to be showing up over there. Because I don't know if the realtor's there or not. You know, yeah, but still it's the right thing to do. I'm running a little bit late, okay? And especially when it's seller occupied, are you kidding? Or tenant occupied, are you kidding me? That's when we really need to keep people informed. And that's when a lot of things that realtors are lacking on. That's why I thought this topic was so important. That's one thing that realtors are really lacking on. And did you hear that word, realtors? What does realtors mean? Professionals, super professionals. Licensed by the state of Florida, backed up by the Real Estate Commission, backed by NAR. Are you kidding me? We are professionals, okay? So let's just do things correctly. Let's do them, you know, let's not break the law. So yeah, cancel them if you're not going to make it. And if you're going again, you know, we went over it already. Just make sure you get, you know, confirmation again to go back in, even if it's vacant. You know, so don't do that. Mm-hmm.
I had a situation where my seller works at home. Somebody saw the sign. They came to her door.
Yeah,
She
happens.
called me and asked if it was okay if she let them in. They wanted to see.
Yeah, that happens.
We're with a realtor.
Yeah. As long as the seller allows it, yeah. I've had scenarios that people have walked in unauthorized, correct? And seller was actually walking into the shower. Thank God she had a robe on, you know. But then the seller was kind enough to say, well, you're already here. Just give me a second to, you know, well, she was coming out. So give me a second to get dressed. You know, I've had scenarios where they go, well, you're already here. You know, let me tell you, when I started real estate quite a while back, I made them. You know, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I made a mistake and I didn't read that bottom part. So that's why I can really understand. And I didn't go in from that front door because I realized that I caught them, you know, surprised. I didn't expect the homeowners to be there. And they were. And what I did was I truly apologized 1,000,000 times. I did not cross the boundary of going in. I said, I'm leaving. I want to apologize. I'm going to call the listing agent immediately, apologize. The showing is for tomorrow. And the gentleman was kind enough to go, listen, you're here already. Okay, but let me get permission from your listing agent. And immediately I text them, I really messed up on this one here, but just, tell them the truth. And the gentleman went, and he went to the playground there with the children. We looked at the home, and turned off the lights, locked everything. And then I went back again at the playground and thanked them because I felt so bad. That was quite a while back. But I felt so bad, So listen, we're humans, guys. There's not one single person in here that says I'm perfect. Seriously, there's not one of us. So yeah, we can make mistakes. I did it.
A funny one happened to me when I was showing a condominium. Is one of these buildings that is a hallway with a bunch of doors, right? So I got the keys and everything, and I went to open the door, and I was opening the door, and the key was not working. Turns out that it was the wrong door. Then this guy opens the door like, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. I made a mistake. The next door. Said, no problem. Go ahead, but it was so fun.
He's a nice guy. The guy was a nice guy. I'm telling you, we make mistakes all the time. I mean, it's honest, simple mistakes. But I'm just really saying, please, just so it doesn't happen, read this. Because you'll run into an agent. You'll run into an agent that's just angry, mean, woke up super angry, woke up like not in a good mood. And I kind of get the feeling after I talk to you that you kind of wake up like that every day, okay? And that you kind of go to bed like that every day. There was no reasoning with this agent, okay? And she is now going ahead and reporting one of the nicest, most professional realtor I've ever met in my freaking life in this office. This lady is like amazing, you know what I mean? She did it innocently, and then she was doing it for herself, and she went back and, she was buying the home for herself, and then that same day submits a full price offer. Submits a full price offer, and that's how the agent found out. All right, and the agent goes, well, you went in there illegally. Yes, it was a mistake. I apologize. I didn't read this part here, but I submitted you a full price offer, and there was no one there. And she goes, I'm going to report you anyway.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you. Wow. And I said to this agent, ma'am, what did she do wrong? I understand she went in there, but she's the one that admitted it to you. I mean, if she committed the felony, right? If she committed the crime, she's actually coming to you and goes, I committed the crime. It's not like you're hiding. It's not like you know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah, why report her? And then she sends you a full price offer that same afternoon. That's how you found out. Guess what? Our compliance committee was very, very lenient. Very lenient on our realtor. Very lenient on our realtor, But, I mean, do you really have to do that? I mean, you don't have to be that. There was no harm done. I understand you went in there illegally, but you didn't go in there like to waste somebody's time and you're touring homes. Oh, come on, let's go touring. Let's go this weekend. You submitted a full price offer. Not even like a lowball offer. How about full price? And she still went ahead with it. And we had to go in front of the committee, which you don't want to go in front of the committee, and you still have to explain yourself. And then they're going to make up their mind what to do with you. Honestly, they were very lenient with our realtor because she did it innocently, submitted a full price offer, and she announced herself. So I went and saw your property today,
I was showing my buyer, and neighbor came in. He said, we are open for 30 days. Is it okay or no?
No, ma'am. No, absolutely not. Please wait. If a realtor comes in, please wait outside.
I was a realtor.
Okay.
Buyers. And neighbor.
You're the listing agent.
No, I was a buyer.
You were the buyer's agent.
And I was showing a property to my buyer. Right. And next door neighbor, they came and said, oh, we are neighbor and this.
Oh yeah, sure, come on in, yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah,
right?
well, no, absolutely not. you know, I'm the neighbor. Yeah, so what? You're not coming in here. You're not getting in here. You know.
I let them talk.
You're the nice person. You wakes up nice in the morning. You go to bed nice in the morning. Things like that.
My mistake.
No, we learn from that. And we learn from each other like this right now. What we're doing right now. We learn from each other by talking, and just admitting that we make mistakes.
There's been, in the 30 years I've been doing this, I've walked in on so many things. The agents will say, knock first, if nobody answers, go in. That's an awful feeling because, they could be in the shower, maybe they don't want to answer.
I love that agent.
And I've also come in, I get there, and the agent need a confirmation and never notified the buyers.
Yes, that happens. Okay, out of 10 times, we're just going to take a guess here. Out of 10 times, I'm telling you that happens 4 out of 10 times. Yeah, that happens. But these are agents that have not been properly educated
And agents don't go back to their properties a lot of times. I've walked in on animals that were left behind, starving. I mean,
yeah, it's sad.
To their listings, the house is vacant, and they don't go clean it from, any vacant house can get.
When I was selling real estate, I walked into this couch. You know how a lot of people throw these, what do you call it, like little blankets, to
throw.
Yeah, these throws on there, right? So I go, oh my God, it looks so pretty. I go, let me see it, because it looked like really, one of these little fluffy ones like that. When I get there, it was I think granddad completely naked. White, pale white. Okay, and the light was not turned on. I couldn't turn it on. I ran out of that freaking office. I ran, locked everything up. I go, I go, is he dead? Is he not dead? I thought it was a throw rug. Not a throw rug, a throw blanket. It was granddad completely freaking naked. Yeah, that one's still in my mind. I close my eyes. Yeah.
Well, they rented out the condo for the weekend, and they don't bother to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's just a matter of us doing things correctly. That's all it is. No big deal. It's just doing things correctly and just following our rules, because those are rules. Okay. So we went over this already. Okay. Well, no, this is the Procuring Realtor right here. Okay. Don't send. Forms are easy, guys. I just want to go over some things of do and don'ts. All right. Don't send someone to an open house and then expect that you're the procuring costs. All right. Make sure you text or email the listing agent, and for whatever reason, if you can't make it, just let them know that you cannot make it for whatever the odd reason is. Let them know the name of the client and put up on subject line, you put on the property address, and ask them if they will be courteous enough to let them walk through and just take a look at the property. Because if not, they're going to go in there, they're going to ask questions, they're going to start doing, and the procuring cost is going to be who? The listing agent that's got the open house.
You have to tell your clients ahead of time too, though, because a lot of times
Oh, absolutely.
I had clients get in the car and go drive around and
Oh my God, yes.
And say, hey, we like this one.
Yeah, you know what? That's why these classes can't really be. We could be here like for weeks, and we're still covering different issues. Because what we're covering right now, we're just scratching the surface. We're not really. That's why these classes are, we're just getting over little simple things, but there are so many factors and all this is unbelievable. So if you can't make it, I'd say 50% is better than nothing. I'd say 30% is better than nothing. Let's say it's a property up north central Florida or something like that, or northern Florida. We have realtors of ours from Partnership Realty that will accompany your client and work something out with them, but just don't send the client up there. That happens a great deal, guys. That happens a great deal. So make sure you can contact me. I'll put you with one of our realtors throughout the entire state of Florida. And I'd say 50%, 30%, whatever you can work out, 70% is better than violating the law, right? So open houses. We went over showing instructions. And I've got a class that I want to do here coming soon. I am so excited to be announcing that. Like, I've been telling you guys about this one for like a year, right? Finally got it. Where is it? There you go. And we finally got it launched. and it's working great. And now we're just loading it up. So I've got another one. I've got another one that we've been working on for quite a while. Darn it. I got another one that I've been working on for quite a while, and it's this one right here, guys. I'm hoping to do this. I've already got it planned out for Dade County. It's going to be in English in Dade County. You guys are up for jokes today. It's too early in the freaking morning.
No.
Do you guys seriously think it's going to be in English in Dade County? Dude, what world do you guys live in? English in Dade County? They'll be in Spanish in Dade County.
There's still a few English speakers.
Are there? I haven't met them yet. I'm sure Miami's loving this one, right? Yeah, freaking comedian, right? Wait till you come back here, over here. Anyway, so it'll be in Spanish, and then I guess the following week, not this one, week coming up, the following one, we'll do it here. Now, you know how we keep dialogues? Do you know that a text that you send out or an email is going to override a freaking addendum? You should have said it. You should have done it. Okay. So now we've got this format that whatever conversations you're having with this whoever it is, it's all in there. It's one click. It all just comes perfectly in order. Because ever so often I need the entire dialogue of text, correct, or emails. Emails are easy, but we're talking text. And then you got to take snapshots as you're going. No more snapshots. I'm going to bring it in here. Got it done. Excited to announce it. It'll be in Miami next week in Spanish for the Spanish-speaking individuals that want to learn Spanish. Go over there. Meet me over there. And then it'll be in English here really soon. All right. Now the entire dialogue is there, where you can send it in to our compliance department, and it'll be saved there. Because you guys know that the statute of limitations is like 2 years, right? So any complaint or problem, no, wait, it depends on the problem. The problem could be 4 or 5 years down the road. So yeah, I want to make sure that, you know, it was a rental you did 5 years ago, and now it's coming back to haunt you. So this dialogue is a phenomenal instrument for realtors and a tool. What a tool, okay? That you just have to email it in, and it just completely goes your entire text history from day one all the way. Oh my God, it's amazing. I'm so excited to be announcing that one, okay? So that one will be here soon. If you guys want to go watch it in Miami, I will be there in Miami, and we will do it in Spanish. This is a big one here. Today we'll talk about this one. Clients no longer want to work with you or another realtor. All right, before we get into that, we'll talk about that later. You got to cancel a relationship, all right? And it's just not a matter of an email anymore. The laws have changed, or a text. Sir, thank you very much. You know, I no longer need your services. I want this text or this email to serve as cancellation of our relationship which no longer exists. I will be working with another realtor. App doesn't work anymore, all right? It helps, but I'm saying it doesn't work, all right? So when it comes down to that, we're going to go over this with the exclusive brokerage buyer's agreement, the showing agreement. We'll go over it today. But this year, you come to me and talk to me about it, all right? Vacant land, oh my God, that's a big one. Please use title partners. Please, I'm asking you, okay? Because there's so much vacant land fraud out there. It's freaking unbelievable. It's just amazing. Yeah, that doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. All right, so vacant land, make sure that, you know, and then clients that are working with multiple offers, I wouldn't accept that. I would have to tell you, sir, decide who you want to work with. Or not offers, with multiple realtors, I meant to say. Just decide, you know, with who you want to work with. Showing an offer without, and we're going to go over that one too, showing a property or submitting an offer in without even showing it. Oh my God, don't do that. Do not do that, okay? We'll go over that. Here's you know, if you're a listing agent and you get an offer that gets submitted into you. Here's a big one, guys. When you get a listing that's been submitted to you, and you need to look, that's why we got to have records of all these offers that have been sent in. So now this offer, you get the same name on a different offer for a much greater price, higher price. So you do have an obligation that you have to submit this offer to your seller or sellers, correct? But you also have an obligation that you have to contact the buyer's agent, the previous buyer's agent who sent in a lowball offer, and let them know, hey, listen, I did get an offer with your client's name on it, and just think you should know. All right. Do you need to let them know how much the offer is? No. Do you let them know who they're working with? No. That's between them and that client. That's between. So they're going to ask you questions. Oh, so who's the other the buyer's agent? Sorry, I can't disclose that. What did they offer? Sorry, I can't disclose that. But would you guys get in trouble for that one or not? Let me ask you guys a question. For not contacting the previous realtor. They left you. They no longer want to work with you. Now they went to you. She sent in a lowball offer. You sent in now a full price offer. Offer got accepted, and we're going to close. So did the listing agent do anything illegal here? He did, or she did. Yeah, it's supposed to contact her and let her know. So you go into it's something that a lot of realtors don't know. So look at your offers, save your offers, submit them in, and make sure. And all you got to do is just let her know, and then you're out of the clear. So if there's a procuring cost problem, it's not going to be with the listing agent. You guys got that? If there is this is all the only thing this is for is to protect you on the procuring costs.
So the listing agent has to inform the buyer's agent every time if they get an offer from a buyer's agent, they can't ignore it.
No, absolutely not. No, which an offer was sent in, and yeah, it's happened to all of us, and it was denied. It was countered. It was countered by the seller, and listen, no client is obligated to be with someone if they don't feel like you're the right proper person to give them the proper services and trust and guidance and everything that they require. Yeah, they're not obligated to be with you. No, they need someone who's a professional who's going to take care of them, right? Take care of them in the sense, you know what I mean, of guiding them correctly and assisting. So yeah, you must contact them. If not, you're going to be involved in that procuring cost. There's going to be a procuring cost lawsuit. You will be involved. So do you guys have that one? That was a big one. You guys got that one? Please, guys, more questions you ask, the better it is.
The customer canceled the relationship with
How did they cancel it? By sending in an email like before we used to?
We don't know that. But,
well, I'm telling you how they've done it. Before, it was an email to her. I'm the buyer's agent. It was an email to her. It was a text to her. Good morning. Thank you so much for your service, but I want to let you know that I am canceling this unconditionally, and I no longer need your services, and let this email or this text serve as notification that your services will no longer, and your office services will no longer be provided, needed or required. Okay, I will be working with someone else. Yep, no, now we need it in writing. And I'll show it to you guys in a minute. But again, before we talk about that on the listing side, because that's a big one. No questions on that? Okie dokie. That's another one here, unlicensed assistants. Yeah. People think that unlicensed assistants are a realtor. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They think that unlicensed assistants can go over there, open up a house, show a house. Nope. Okay? Unlicensed assistant is nothing more like an assistant. You know, like Sonia does? You know, her whole team. You know, what do they do? You know, they'll submit an offer on your behalf, when they get a counter, come back to you, help with all the paperwork and stuff like that. That's what an assistant can do. Not even go and show and open up the house. Can an assistant be with you at a open house? Yeah. For safety? Absolutely. For security, you know what I mean by security, just having someone there with you. Reading from the MLS report, but not answering questions. For that, sir, give me a second. The realtor will be right with you. Okay, but they can't behave as if they were a realtor. They can't work as a So can they go put a sign up? Yes. Take a sign off? Yes. But they cannot go show properties for you. Can they write up an offer? Yeah, that's what an assistant is for. But not okay. But not just gather information. They could do CMAs, schedule appointments, things like that. But don't misconfuse an assistant. Because they have their own MLS and they need to announce themselves. I am the assistant of Ismael Alvarez. Need to announce themselves in their email address. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is pretty quick. This is the forms now. So again, as I mentioned, when an individual starts talking to you, this is the first document that must be signed. I don't know how to emphasize must. Really, I'll say it in Spanish because I got some really good words for Spanish for that. All right, so listen, this must be signed. What is this saying? This is just saying to the client when they want to engage with you. When they want to engage with you for you showing them, sending them listings. When they want to get advice from you, what do you think about about this market and this property? And once they start getting involved about, it seems that they're going to be wanting your assistant. Now, they don't know yet if they want to work with you, okay? But there's a possibility that they can come out and they can actually be working with you, right? So this has to be signed. What does that say? Listen, all you got to do is tell your client what this document is. It's a federal document. Okay, this is what was signed by NAR and the Department of Justice, the DOJ. Okay, it's just saying that that commissions are not set by law. They are fully negotiable. Sir, ma'am, this is not binding. Okay, I just need to let you know that I am here to assist you on whatever you want me to offer, counter offer. I am here to help you with this transaction, but you are in full control. Okay, that document's got to be sent by email. Have them sign it, send them back. Okay, e-signing, guys. It's so simple. They can sign it right from their cell phone. That is the first document. When do you use this document? At first engagement. At first engagement. If you're at an open house, if they're walking in, they haven't asked you a question yet, right? You don't have to get this signed. At first engagement, when you see now they want your professionalism, your wisdom in real estate, and your help in real estate. Must this get signed? Yeah. What if you tell me, oh, by the way, I didn't know I needed it, and you're at the end of the deal when you're turning in the file, and our compliance department is letting you know, oh, by the way, we need this document, you're missing it. And you're going to get this signed 30 days later, and e-signing is date and time sensitive. Are you guys breaking the law here on this one or not? This was that class action lawsuit, all right? This is, even if people are underestimating ethics, rules, bylaws, standard of practice, professional standards and stuff like that. They're mistaken that with, they think that because of the word law, they think that the word law, oh no, that one's really enforceable. That's scary. Guys, be just as scared as our ethics, our compliance, and our professional standards are just as bad. All right? They have no tolerance sometimes. So, yeah.
In that file, you have the form name at the bottom. That's his.
Okay, yeah, you're going to sign there. You really don't need my signature, but if you want to send it to me. Guys, a lot of you guys are sending it to me. I'm just go ahead and e-sign it because it only takes one click. I mean, it's really one click. That's so hard, right? One click. So this is how you're going to send it to them. Send it to them, and you can have it on your laptop on something already saved or have it in, but you better have this inside your file.
So you want us to send it to you?
No, I don't.
So leave that blank. The broker thing can be blank.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you get it signed and your client gets it signed.
Okay.
And he knows he's in control. Because surely that's what that means. He's in control.
So I cannot read the form, but is where you also establish the percentage of the commission?
No, not yet. They're not there yet. No, all this is saying that commissions are completely, fully negotiable. I am here I'm pretty much here to help you and assist you with whatever your thoughts, your needs, your concerns are, but this is not binding, sir. You are not obligated to work with me. But this must get signed. And if you go to another realtor, sir, by the way, they're going to request it. And if they don't, they're violating the law. So realtors are not going to risk their license for this. Realtors will not risk their license for this.
Buyers and sellers, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And what if you got the buyer and the seller? Woo, nice. Do they both need to sign it?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bet your life on that one. But I'll be getting, man, if I got the buyer and the seller, you're going to see me with my best tie on, my best suit, and I am going to, wow, I'm going to make sure it gets done perfectly. You've got both sides of the fence here.
Yeah.
Woo.
Ismael, I don't see that, let's say the address of the, I can't see the form from here.
Honestly,
Is it the address?
no, there's no address. It's just their name, and then where it says real estate company, it's Partnership Realty.
So any bounded agreement would be for any kind of property that you
Yeah, but no, this is not binding. We're not into an agreement yet. You are just asking for advice from me. You're engaging with me. You haven't told me you're interested in this property or that property, or selling this property or that property.
So I just am going to give you my service, my professional service.
Opinion and service. If you decide that you want to work with me, if you decide that I'm the right realtor for you, yes, yes. But this is just letting you know that you are in control. You're in control. You're going to negotiate this whole thing through me, of course. Through me, of course.
I have a question. So for the report, for example, I have a listing I report to you. So do I also need to get this form?
Yes, ma'am.
With buyer or seller?
Yes, ma'am. Both.
Really? For the referral now we require for that too. Okay.
Oh, for a referral? Heck yeah. The referral already engaged with you. They already said, hey, listen, I want to work with you on, I want to work with you. And so, yeah, get it in your folder.
Let me make that clear. So I report to you, I need to sign this with the buyer and seller. You also need to...
Hold on, but he's your client that you'll be referring somewhere in some other state or some other county here in this state.
It's same county. It's same county.
Okay, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. As long as the client says, I want your assistance.
Okay.
We need that document. Okay, let me ask you guys a question here, which goes hand in hand with exactly what you're saying, right? Let me ask you a question this. So builders will tell you all day long, we don't need this. They're not lying. They don't need this. They're not governed by NAR. But who's governed by NAR? Yeah. I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking at you. Yeah. And you're looking at me too. Yeah. Okay, so we are. Do you need this? The word is heck yes, you do.
No, you did not answer me. I said, okay, you are the buyer. I sign that with you.
Yes.
I report that. Do you need to sign that?
No, ma'am.
So who I refer?
You are. You're going to sign. He's going to sign it right here on your buyer or seller, whoever you represent. Okay. Then you, the licensee, is going to sign right there and date it. Do you want to send it to me? Sure, I don't mind. I'll sign it. But you don't have to. That's an additional step you're going to have to take. Like, it's completely unnecessary. Listen, we're busy enough in our life, right, to have to take additional steps unnecessary. But if you want to send it to me, yeah. Does this need to go into your file? Heck yeah. Here's the most important thing about it, the date. This is that first contact. Better said, first engagement. People are confused with this. I'm seeing files come in without this. Go, I'll get it signed. Really? What, 30 days later? Are you serious? Well, at least something is better than nothing. Why don't you watch the classes? Why don't you come into the classes? Classes are online. You don't even need to come into the classes. But learn about what you're doing so you don't get in trouble. All right? So any question, okay, again, back to a builder. Builders, do you need this for a builder, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, 1,000,000%. Okay, for a builder.
If they're engaging you.
Yeah, you're going to get paid a commission.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to be their realtor with that builder, and you're getting a commission. So your paperwork better be in a row, okay?
So this doc needs to be sent to the builder.
No, not the builder. Your client. Builder's not your client. Builder is not your client, okay? Builder's not your client. And builder doesn't have to sign any of this. Why? Because they're not governed by NAR. And they're not governed by NAR. Nope. But you do because you've got a buyer that you're dropping off. No, that came out so wrong. I always tell realtors, do never drop off a client over. Stay there. Learn about the contracts. Learn about the builder's habits. Learn about the properties. Learn about their model homes. Learn about the amenities. Learn about everything. Become an expert in your field. Stay there. I've heard people go, well, that's one of the easiest sales I ever made in my life. I dropped them off and left. I go, oh my God. Man, that's fine. You could do that. Builder allows it. You know what I mean? But you're not doing yourself any justice. You're not helping yourself. Stay there. Listen to everything and overlook that contract. And sometimes, these buyers aren't clear on it. Listen, you've got $56,000 in incentives to use for closing costs and then for any upgrades. And then you want to stay there with the builder as well, too. Some builders right now are paying half of the commission at signing. Yeah, they're paying half of the commission at signing. And then give me the other half when it closes. Some are doing them in 3 parts: at signing, midway, and then at the end. Why would you not want to be there and miss out on that great topic? Oh yeah,
You should go over the contract with your client while they're
absolutely
working, not just have them sign it.
Absolutely.
Me and the builder was trying to put an assignment.
Yeah.
In it for some of the salespeople who had assignments on some of the Prime View.
Oh my gosh. The salesperson.
Yeah.
The salesperson was doing it. It wasn't the building. The salesperson was doing that. Yeah. Not too kind. So yeah, you want to be there to make sure you're overlooking your client's best interests.
And they can't get a mortgage if there's an assignment.
With the builder?
Right.
I don't know.
No, I found that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Almost all new construction is.
Yeah. On your
cash on your. They don't care if you show up as long as you come up with the money, but it says cash in all the new build contracts. Yeah. For most of them.
And if they don't explain that, and they want to take the client's escrow deposit, so we're responsible for the client's escrow deposit. So, yes, ma'am.
I have a client that I'm working with right now. It's speaking of this contract. I gave it to him to sign it, and he was asking me about the commission part.
We're going to get in now to the commission part. This has nothing to do with commissions. I mean, it does. It's just telling them it's completely negotiable. It's just a disclosure. That's all it is. That is completely negotiable. You're fully in control, and I am here to assist you with all of your, desires, wants, needs, and so forth. Okay. Now comes the commission part of it. There are 3 of them. If the client engages and says, and you're getting ready to email them, right? Or I would probably have this. Do you have to have one of these things signed at this point when you're emailing them some listings? Not really. But let's talk about that for a second, because that's where it gets sensitive. Okay? You're becoming the procuring costs. You showed them the property. And now they went over there. You don't want them to go with someone else. Do you have any type of agreement with them? No, you don't. All you had was a non-binding document, like Andresito says, a disclosure, just nothing more. Okay, just a compensation disclosure. Now, I would put in there, okay, there's 3 of them. You got the pre-touring, That one doesn't offer a lot of protection. Then you got the showing agreement, which does offer protection, okay? And then you got the exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement. That one offers complete protection, all right? And that helps you with the procuring cost deal. But now we really got to talk about this, okay? So if you want to at first, because you don't have a relationship that will establish with this client, because it's an online client. But if it's a client that's already knows you, they're referred over to you, then you definitely want the showing agreement, which is the SA4, or you want the exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement. Okay, so that would be this one right there. All right, but let's say you have somebody online. At least I'm going to get that one, the pre-touring. You know why? Because I'm going to go over there. I'm going to do a little video for them. I'm going to send it back to them. So I'm pre-touring this property for them. I'm going to put the property address in there. I know this is all in small letters. You're going to see it in bigger letters in a couple minutes, okay? You'll see how to fill it out in a couple minutes, all right? I'm just telling you the steps right now, and then we'll fill them out. Filling them out is pretty easy because it's repetitive. All right, so online, I'm probably just going to do the pre-touring. At an open house, probably do the pre-touring if they don't have a realtor. Always what you want to ask. And this didn't begin last year in 2024. This has always been like that. You should always ask, are you working with any other realtor at this present time? No, I'm not. You know, okay, great. Yes, I am. Then, you know, you need to know what to do and what the next questions to ask, all right? Which I'm not going to get into that, you know. But, I mean, if you guys want to afterwards, you can ask me what to do. Because I'm gonna go over cancellation on these contracts as well too. We need to cancel them. It's no longer that text or that email. It's not sufficient. All right. So anyway, so pre-touring. But now, what if the client says, "Okay, I'm fine with it. Now I really want to see it." Then you're going to go into my showing agreement or exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement. Now we're going into an agreement. And guys, here's the best closing statement here. This is mandated. This is now a federal law. Okay? So whatever realtor they go to, they're going to have to sign it. You see what I mean? Yep. They're going to have one of these, and if they don't, well, they're always risking the chance that someone leaves them, comes over to you because you're more knowledgeable, correct? And they don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, it's going to be a not such a good battle with the grievance committee, saying that, hey, I was the procuring cost. Well, I got an exclusive buyer's agreement. Right. Okay, so these documents are important. You only need out of the 3, you only need 1. But if you start out with the pre-touring and now you're showing the properties, you need one or the other. You guys got that? You need one or the other. The showing agreement or we've got them right where our form simplicity is at, where I showed you, under the new NAR mandatory forms. Then underneath it is for the buyer's package, and everything that is required, like the lead-based HOA, whatever, all the other documents are all there. But the NAR forms, the mandatory NAR forms are on top. Andre, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a client that I represent her a lot in West Palm Beach. And I realized that she was buying 2 houses at the same time with 2 different agents in different counties.
Okay.
No problem, right?
Yeah, she's got the right to go buy one over there, and you over here.
So no conflict with this one.
What a good one. Let's talk about, no one. That's why I love these classes, man, because we get questions like this. This is all new to all of us. This is the first time I hear this question asked. Now, I'm going to ask the legal team on this, right? I'll call up our legal team on this here. Now, it depends on how that agent on this other county wrote up her exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement, like all of state of Florida. That I'm not going to recommend. We're going to go over that in detail in a couple of minutes, okay? I'm not going to recommend that one. because that's like a bully. I want to own you. I want to own you, you know. I want to own you anywhere you go. Who says? You don't know anything about Palm Beach County real estate or market values or anything here. Yeah, but I want to own you. That's not partnership Realty Realtors, okay? So I've seen, we'll go over that in detail. Andre, that is a great question. I will call our legal team. I'll find out, all right, about that. But my answer right now to your question would be, depends on how she wrote up that exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement. Yeah, because she can call you up, hey, good morning, Andres. But did you ask what I said in the beginning? I said like twice. Did you ask your client, are you working with anybody else at this present time? You are? Okay. Do you have anything in writing with it? You do. Can I see it? Okay, and then you come see me, and then we'll handle it. We'll handle it at that time. But that question is what? Asked up front. It's always been like that from the beginning of time, so it's not like nothing new. Now it's better because, guys, you understand, these forms are protecting you. But we don't want to take advantage of them. And you know what I mean by becoming a bully? You know what I mean? That now you want to control somebody's life in Pensacola. Seriously? Do you guys really know a lot about Pensacola real estate? You know, I'm not saying you can't go up there with them if the client wants to go up there and you want to be the realtor for them, then heck yeah. But I will get one of these documents signed and I will be showing properties up in Pensacola. Okay, I'll get one of these, but not that I'm going to control you, you know, because it could be an investor. Your client's probably an investor. Yeah, of course. Okay, we'll get into this a little bit more details. All right, the third step here. This you must do, all right? You must do this. This is no if, answer, buts about this one. So you're going to text or email the client pretty much these 4 questions right there. Because out of these 4 questions, here's the answer to your compensation right down here. All right, so the first question is, before you send the listing to your client, if you want to, you're going to text or email them and ask them, you know, or is there compensation being offered on this listing? And they'll say, yes, there is. All right, great, got that one. And I'll probably put all 4 questions together, you know. And okay, if there is, then what is the amount what is the amount of the compensation? So you're going to get 1 of 2 answers back. Sorry, you could get 3. Number 3 would be, no, we're not paying any compensation. Well, that settles that one. Okay, but you still can call me. Call me. And we're going to probably put an offer together and submit it in and let them tell us no, if you know what I mean. Just call me. The most important part here is that your client is interested in this property. And let me help you, all right? So even if they're saying, nope, I'm not offering any compensation. Usually you don't see that, but once in a while you're going to get one of these angry realtors that wakes up angry, goes to bed angry. Or it might not be the realtor.
Commercial stuff too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is nothing new to us. I've been in commercial real estate my entire career. So this is not new to me. It's the same thing. We've been doing this for years after years after years with these agreements, which are still in our back office there. All right, so let's go back to this. Call me, guys. Let's see what we could do and work something out, all right, to get compensation on this because your client really wants this property. So there was 3 things. One was that one. The second one is they're going to go, all right, so we're paying 3%, 2.5%, 2%, 1%, whatever the case may be. The third one would be is, we'll submit your offer and we'll let you know because that's what the seller wants. Remember the compensation disclosure? They're not set by law, fully negotiable, but it's got to match the listing agreement. The listing agreement is going to have to read like that the seller will decide what he or she or they want to pay when the offer comes in, because you might be submitting an offer $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 below market value. So wouldn't you say that would offset an agreement of 5 or 6%? because they're making less. That offsets it. So, yeah, so you're going to get 1 of 3. So if they say, well, it depends, submit your offer in, then good. Contact me. I'll be glad to assist you guys with this one here. I've seen that numerous times already, okay? And it's pretty simple to handle.
So, question, as a listing agent, if another agent, the buyer's agent, calls you, asking you the compensation and the percentage of the compensation, you don't really disclose at that point how much is
it depends. As a listing agent, your listing agreement. If your listing agreement on paragraph 8 says compensation, we're just going to use a number here, okay? 8%. Oh my God, 8. I'm thinking commercial. And, 6%, let's just say, right? But then you go down to paragraph 10, it'll be either 10A or 10B, right? 10A is saying we're paying the cooperating broker, buyer's broker, 3%. So yeah, no, you just can't say, you cannot say at that point, because that's the listing agreement. You cannot say, well, submit your offer in and we'll see. No. The listing agreement's got to match. The listing agreement's got to match, okay? Where the listing agreement says, I, the seller, will let you know. I, the seller, will let you know, okay?
Another question. As a listing agent, we understand that we cannot put anything in terms of compensations or incentives in the listing.
Right.
But in the documents side, can we put those?
The listing agreement?
Yeah, not the listing agreement. I mean, could be the listing agreement or this agreement.
Right. Yeah.
Already disclosed there how much is going to be paid.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to put them in there. We're going to go through. We're going to actually fill those out in a couple of minutes. We're going to fill it out real quickly.
How do you verify what's on the listing agreement when you're an agent?
Okay. If you feel, that's why now, do you guys remember you guys had to turn in the listing agreements? Darn it, I think I have it in here. You guys should know this already, but you're supposed to turn it into the office within 24 hours, right? 48 hours, 2 days, all right? Now you're supposed to turn it in 24 hours. I got to have that listing agreement anytime you sign it. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're selling your own property. Do you need a listing agreement for you? Yes. Yeah. Heck yes. All right? So let's say you feel uncomfortable by any chance, that you feel that the listing agent is not being truthful and honest. You have the right to contact the compliance department, okay? They'll look into it. And
from MLS?
Yes, sir. Yeah. They'll look into it and they'll ask for that listing agreement. Because when they contact me, and I'm going to contact our compliance department, and we're going to email them that listing agreement over there like ASAP, and you better have it. You better have it. Yeah, that's a big one right there. That's a big one. You better have it. So that's why we request listing agreements within 1 day, because he might not feel comfortable with your answer. He might feel like, let's say usually this happens towards the CD part. This is when it usually happens, the CD part. When you look at that Alta and you see that he's making 4%, sorry, other way around. He's making 4%, you're making 1%, you go, what? Yeah, so there, I would look into it. I would ask him. I wouldn't call up MLS compliance yet. Hello, and get it in writing. Get it in writing, because in writing, you've got them what? You've got them, right? Yeah. So, listen, does this CD match your, and probably you want to copy me, copy their broker too. Does this CD really match your listing agreement? Are you really, your listing agreement reads that you're going to get 4% and I get 1%? And get their answer back.
So we as buyer's agent, we have the right to
yes, sir.
The listing agreement from this.
Well, no. They're not going to give it to you. They're just going to contact. We're talking about the MLS compliance.
Yeah.
Right.
It happened to me a little while ago. Because it's been around forever.
Yeah.
And the guy was making 4% and I was making 2%.
See, exactly.
At the moment of
but you realize at the moment this comes up at the CD part.
I never got the listing agreement from them.
No, you're never going to get it. You're going to contact me, MLS compliance. MLS compliance is going to contact their broker. Broker's going to send it over to everything looks so Humpty Dumpty. Everything looks perfectly fine. They'll let you know no foul, no harm. Okay, so then they're going to look at it, and if it matches the CD, no foul, no harm. You see what I mean? Because he wrote up that listing agreement like that, and that's what the seller wanted. The seller says, look, I've been working with you, like Andres says, he's got a client working with him a long time. I really enjoy your services. Or you're just a good salesperson. I don't know which one. All right, so I really enjoy your services. I'm going to give you 4. And I want you to give the cooperating broker 2. I don't know. We can go, I'm not going to get deep into that one, but can it happen? Yeah. Can it happen where he's going to get the full 6% commission and you get 0?
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't you want to know about that one?
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. And but first you should have known it up front, right now, at this point in time, where you ordered this text or email with these questions. So this should be no surprise at the day of CD.
Flo, is it they send you a text or email that the compensation is 3 and you get
Yes, sir. Oh, no, wait.
listing agreement say 4 and 2?
No. If they sent you, okay, that's a good one. I love it. I love it. It's happened as a mistake.
As a mistake, but listen, it's a mistake that we're going to close, but the damage is on me, not it's on you.
Yes, sir. I totally understand you, and we're human, and errors do happen. So exactly what you said, Carlos, is true. This has happened already. Like, all this is brand new for us. We're not even in a year into it, because August is not here. So this is so fresh. There hasn't been enough of these cases in court yet to really determine the factors and the end game on this. And we haven't. There's not been enough yet. All right. But let's say that this does happen. You're the listing agent, and you got a bunch of listings, and you answered them by just thinking, you were thinking off the top of your head, and you answered them, it was 2%, and then find out, sorry, I came out wrong. Exactly, thank you. You guys are my best assistants. You always keep me in line. It was 3%, and now the offer comes in, and you're telling him, oh no, sorry, I'm not signing that compensation agreement that you sent me, which is going to be this right here, guys. It's going to be either CABB1, which is broker to broker, or CASB1, which is sellers to buyers broker. Sellers signing here. So this is 10A or 10B. So now you made the mistake, and you're not signing his, let's say it's broker to broker, right? You're not signing him when he sent in the offer, the CABB1. So now, if you're the listing agent, the buyer's agent, you need to get a hold of me. If you're the listing agent and you made the mistake, you still need to get a hold of me. So somehow, I am going to work with professionalism, guys. That's me, all right? We've not been around for 27 years because I am brutal or harsh, and I know we make mistakes. So if you made a mistake, we learn from our mistakes, right? Ouch. So it might cost you half a point. Listen, here's the listing agreement. I'll be happy to send it to you. But you made the mistake. You got that in writing. You told them 3%. So what do we do? Why don't we just go 50-50 on this? You're going to get 2.5. You'll get 2.5. But I bet you won't do it again. Next time you'll check. We learn from our mistakes. So I'm letting you know up front that I am very, very fair with everybody, okay? So I am, I don't know. Get this in writing. And that was a great one, Carlos, that you asked right there. That was a great question. But it's happened quite a bit. Of people just answering back too quickly.
Too quickly, yeah.
Yeah, people just answering back too quickly. So that's a great one. That's a great one. That one's happened quite a bit. But we've negotiated it.
I don't think the part that you said that when we mark seller, he's allowed to change.
Modification? Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
No, I think the commission paid. Like, we have 2 options to mark. Like,
Oh yeah, or 10A or 10B. Yeah, because commit on.
The seller already signed it, so he's the right to change.
Yeah, but it's already executed. That exclusive listing agreement is executed. It is completely executed. All right.
What I say is, can he pay less to the buyer agent?
No, absolutely not, because the exclusive listing agreement says 3 and 3. 6 total, but 3 and 3.
Okay, even though.
Yeah, and then if you want to get like, not fancy, I don't know what the word I would want to use for that one. If you want to get unethical about it, all right, and say, well, I didn't like him, you know, because he was so rude over the phone, or I didn't like his voice or whatever, I'm only going to give him 2. You can't do that, because the listing agreement says 3 and 3. We have to follow it. So that's why MLS will ask for it. And we need to send it to them like immediately. So that's why we need all listing agreements to be sent in. I might have it here in this. I've done it in many other classes. So it should be in your. It should be inside your welcome packages. It should be, and we're sending it everywhere all the time. So.
If you've got, regardless of which one you've CABB1 or
yes, sir.
PSB, if the seller says, I want to decide when I get the offer, that's a separate.
Well, that's the listing's got to read that way.
Right, but the point I'm making is in the listing agreement, which one are you going to?
Okay, when we do a seller's next week, we'll go over that.
Okay.
But I mean, if you have a seller right now, you just contact me and I'll help you fill it out.
Okay.
I'll help you fill it out. But that's the seller's choice, because the seller doesn't know what's going to happen. Like, for example, you know what could happen? A lower offer can come in, or property might not appraise, because you've already enlightened the seller. You're asking a little bit too much. You know, we're about $40,000, $50,000 above market value. So the seller goes, okay, let's see if somebody pays me full price, and let's see if then we'll decide commission and the appraisal. So there's all those factors involved.
And it has to be on the listing agreement.
Yes, ma'am, up front.
Yeah.
But if that listing agreement is already filled out, yeah, the only way it's going to change if and only when, because the listing agreement says the property is selling for $685. If I get $685, I want 5% commission, right? I'm going to pay 5% commission. I'm the seller here. But I'm paying 2.5 to the listing broker. I'm paying 2.5 to the buyer's broker. But now, if the appraisal comes in for what, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 less, the seller's got the complete. You know, it's completely renegotiable all over again. That's what the modification is for. Remember, we disclosed to the seller and the buyer up front. Commissions aren't set by law, right? Was that the first disclosure or not? See how it all falls into place now? All right, so then your next question is, who's paying the commission? Is it the broker or is it the seller? Because if they go, okay, the broker's paying, then you know you need the CABB1 to be submitted in with your offer. If they say the seller is paying, then you need the CASB1, because this is going to be signed by the seller. So those are the 4 questions. Mm-hmm.
On the CABB1 means that compensation at closing is paid, for instance, to Partnership Realty, and we do deals with another brokerage. Now, Partnership casts a check to the other broker.
No, at the time of closing.
Or is the same?
At the time of closing, it just means that Partnership Realty, the realtor, you will be signing CABB1. Or if you want to send it to me, I'll sign it. You don't have to, but I'll show you in a minute. It's just a matter of who is signing that. Will that be signed? Will that be signed by the broker, or will that be signed by the seller? Okay, by the seller. Will it be signed by the seller? That document must be signed by the seller. Okay? But the commission on the first one, yes, you're right. Partnership Realty is paying commission on that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that one. Sorry.
On number 4, when you say broker or the seller, what does exactly mean the broker is paying?
That's the document. You know how, remember in the listing reports that, in the old listings report before August 17th, it had the commissions at the bottom in 3 different places, right? Yeah. 2.5, 2.5, 3, 3, 3, or whatever, 2, 2, 2. Right, but now, since it's not the title company, doesn't have a listing agreement. You know the listing agreements back then were contracts? They were contracts. Whatever that listing agreement said, that's the commission that's being paid. Okay? So since the title company or the attorney who's doing the closing does not have anything written into the listing agreement, how do they know how much commission to pay you? That's the document that you must sign in. But it's got to be signed by who? By broker to broker or seller to broker. So that's the only proof that you've got of how much commission is owed to you, and it's going to be collected on the CD. So that's why that document is so important. That document is so important. Okay? Oops. Step 4 right here. These are the documents when you're submitting it in. CABB1 or CASB1. Honestly, if you guys ever want to see those, find out these abbreviations where they go, look at the bottom, at the bottom left-hand corner, it says it right there, CABB1 or CASB1 right there. But that is the abbreviations for right up here, okay? All it says is compensation agreement, seller's broker to buyer's broker, see? Commission agreement, broker to broker 1. And this one is commission agreement, seller to buyer's broker 1. That's all it says. We'll fill that out in a minute, okay? So once the offers has been accepted, it's got to get submitted into all parties, and all documents, all paperwork must be submitted in to the mortgage, to the title company, and especially that commission agreement, the CASB1 or CABB1, especially that, because that is going to determine what your commission is. So that's where your question is answered at, you know. And also, if you're using transaction coordinators, do they need that? Heck yeah. They need everything, basically everything.
Question. So if the seller is willing to pay 3%, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And they also want to pay
bonus?
Incentives to the buyer,
or to the listing agent.
So let's say another 3% if they put an offer at full price.
Yep.
Where I can disclose this information.
I'm going to show you right away. Good question. Good question. I'm going to show you right away. Okay. Modifications are also cancellations. Remember how we talked about earlier that a text or an email is not sufficient? And Andrea, this one goes to you. They came to you, and you had to ask up front, are you working with another realtor? Yes, I am. Then you want to see that exclusive listing buyer's brokerage agreement or the showing agreement. You want to see it. Now, how do we cancel that realtor on the other side of the coast, or Central Florida or Northern Florida, that has no expertise in Palm Beach County or St. Lucie or you know, Jupiter or whatever the case may be, Dade County, whatever the case may be, right? So here is how you modify something, how you modify it in case the appraisal doesn't come in. And also here is how you cancel. And I'm going to try to go over with you guys Partnership Realty's way of doing this, okay? So I've seen some of these exclusive buyers brokerage agreements from other offices. They're brutal. This is a double-edged sword to you, okay? Guys, this is a double-edged sword. You want to know why it's a double-edged sword? Because it speaks a lot about you. It speaks about the company, us. It speaks, and you know, bad news travels like ASAP. But great news, you can do like 100 great things and no one's going to say, oh, anything good about you. Well, they probably will, you know, knowing you. All right, so, but bad news travels. So I'm going to tell you guys how to fill this out and how to get this thing signed, all right, and executed and what to do and what not to do. That's just Partnership Realty's way of doing things, okay? This is what I would like you to do. It's just an opinion. I am not stating it, that you must do it. I'm just stating how you should do it, because the people that think long-term, right, and we have not been in 27 years, over 27 years, doing this, because we think brutal and abusively. Okay, we don't, all right? So we'll get into that for a second. So now let's get into the actual forms. And here we go. So the first form, here's that compensation agreement. All that's going to go here is your buyer's name, the real estate agency, okay, partnership realty, and who signs this? We already went over it, seller and buyer. Date it. Does this need to be in your file? Yes. I believe so. Okay, you guys can sign it. You guys want me to sign it? You can send it to me. I'll sign it. And date it, all right? We already went over this document, so you know what the document is. So let's go over the other ones. Exclusive buyer's brokerage agreements, right here. This is the one that offers you the most amount of what? Of protection, okay? So you want your client's name here, partnership realty there. You know when you do a listing agreement, there is a start date and an end date. Now I spoke to a realtor this morning, darn it, sorry, wait. I spoke to a realtor this morning and she modified it. I told her to watch the class, she's watching it right now, but she only did it for 30 days. It's kind of hard to find a property in 30 days, right? She actually got it modified. She wrote it up for a year. Okay, so good, fine. I'm fine with that with the year. All right, I'm fine with the year. 6 months, 8 months is probably what I feel more comfortable with, me. Why? I just think that if I haven't found your house in a year, something's wrong. Either you're pulling my chain, you're just having me drive you around on weekends, and I buy you lunch, and we get to hang out. And honestly, no.
There are people that pick.
I understand, but I don't want to be I don't want this window shopping. I don't want to be your window shopping guide and your Uber too. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, since I am a professional, I'm going to invite you to lunch. You know, because most of them probably I'm not going to buy lunch. I'm the client. So you're most likely taking out that credit card, you know, or whatever. For a year, I don't know about that one, man. So listen, can you write it up for a year? The answer is yes. Do I recommend a year? The answer is no. We could always modify it like she did this morning already. Or she got it done yesterday. Okay, because she only wrote it up for 30 days. So I said, just get it modified. And it got modified. She wrote it up for a year, which I'm fine with it. I know her really well, and she's a phenomenal realtor. Okay, and but anyway, 6 months or something like that, 8 months. Totally up to you. I'm not going to get involved with that one, all right? Totally up to you. Your call. You're the one. So here, property type, single family. And then please, just the counties where you know they're going to buying at. So you know they're not going to go up there and buy in Tampa. Now, if they are an Airbnb, why not? If they buy investment properties like rentals or flips, why not? I'll put the freaking entire state of Florida. Because if I find you a good deal up in Ocala, if I find you a good deal up in Jacksonville, yeah, I'm driving you up there. We're going up there because I'm going to go and learn. And guess what? I'm going to sell you that property. Now, we have a lot of clients buying Airbnb in Kissimmee right now, in Orlando. Booming. A ton of clients.
Do we have access to MLS on there?
You have MLS Advantage, and if you want to get secondary memberships, yes, you do.
Oh.
Yes, you do.
Access to sell in the whole state regardless.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But you don't have full, no. You don't have full access to the MLS. You notice that some MLSs won't they're not cooperative, and they won't share MLSs on the MLS Advantage. So, but you guys can have 2, 3, 4 secondary memberships. Listen, if you guys need 2 or 3, 4 secondary memberships, I'm high-fiving you. That means you're selling real estate, okay? Because I'm telling you, in Miami, Broward, Palm Beach County, Airbnb does not help. Airbnb hurts developments big time for the financing, Why do you think these condos right now are suffering so much? Now, if it's a single-family home, it doesn't matter. But especially for the condos. You don't want someone living next to you that's, it's like a hotel in and out, coming in and out, partying next to you. No, no, no. And then now they're putting restrictions, really. The management companies and the HOAs are getting really very, very, putting restrictions down that they want no more than 25% rentals or no more than 30. So these developments now can start qualifying for FHA once they get the reserves and budgets and all that straightened out, which they're doing them, okay? Now they qualify for FHAs for conventional loans, right? Not non-QM loans alone, okay? FHA conventional loans, that means more buyers. That means more value. Your value of your property is going up. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to maintain value. They're trying to maintain, because once you get FHA approved and conventional approved, are you kidding me? That's phenomenal. That's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. Right now, there's only very few of them, and there's a lot of them. They're mostly all non-QM loans. Okay, but anyway, going back to this right here. Okay, just put down whatever it is. If it's a condo, townhouse, villa, all right, single family kind of covers villa, townhouses, and single family homes. Condos, no. All right. Example, I'm selling in Palm Beach County, Dade, Broward, St. Lucie, or any of the addresses nearby. Like some people we're selling a lot towards the west. I mean a lot. We are really selling a lot towards that whole area over there of Montura Ranch. We're selling a great deal towards Clewiston, Belle Glade. It is amazing. They're creating new construction, and the prices are so reasonable. And a lot of people don't need, and they can work out of their homes. They can actually work out of their homes. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't. They're fine by living over there. City of Lake Okeechobee, big time. A lot of new development over there, and you know what I mean? And why not take your client over there? The homes are affordable. It's going up. It's going to go up.
I sold 400 acres there for $2 million.
Wow, great price.
Yeah, well, we had to do a lot of stuff because we actually got it platted.
Yeah.
Because the well and septic was in the middle lot.
Yeah.
And my guy only wanted part of the middle lot and part of the first lot,
yeah.
And the seller was willing to do it. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of investors going out there over there and rezoning the actual land. You know that by just rezoning it, now you can turn around and sell it to a developer and go, hey, listen, this is ready for a multifamily right here.
There's
you just
wetland
doubled.
issues out there though too for both.
There's big wetland issues in Wellington.
Yeah.
I'm in South Florida. Tell me something new.
Yeah. That's true.
There's big wetland issues out in Westlake.
Well,
Loxahatchee.
They made a lot of strict rules too.
Ireland is too.
Yeah, but they know how to handle it. Listen, we're really good nowadays. Our engineers are phenomenal. They'll turn a wetland into like the driest, freaking into a Mojave Desert, man. Are you kidding? Is it Mojave? I don't know. Mohammed, forget it. Huh? Mojave Desert, thank you. So yeah, but anyway, again, guys, going back to this, stay to your area, please. Don't be the abusive contracts that I've looked at. Don't be the abusive contracts that I looked at, all right? Exclusive listing buyers brokerage agreements, okay? Listen to that one. That made sense, right? Exclusive listing buyers brokerage agreement, no. Exclusive buyers brokerage agreements that you own this client in the entire state of Florida for an entire year. Don't do that. You're never going to get my condolences on that. I mean my, a favor on that. I'm not going to be in favor of that one. All right. So here, your question: how do we fill this out? All right. I'm going to put here and explain to my client that I can get paid up to 3% commission. Now, it could be less. It could be 2.5%. It could be 2%. It could be 1%. You know, I could charge my client as well too if the seller decides. If the seller decides that the house that the client picked, if the seller decides that they don't want to pay a commission on it, so I can charge my client up to 3%. Okay, but we don't know yet. You don't know. You don't know yet. I don't believe in double dipping and double charging on both sides. That because whatever you put here, that's the most you're going to get, guys. All right, that's the most you're going to get. You can't go and get 2% from this listing agent and then you're going to charge 3% to the buyer's agent. You cannot. All right. So let's say, because I work with a lot of investors. Okay, a lot of us do here. So let's say that the investor says, find me a property. I am going to give you a $10,000 bonus. Right there. Plus. But you could also put in Partnership Realty's fee. Some are $4.95 or they're $6.95. Where do you put it at? You put it right there where it says plus. See the plus? It also says it on the listing agreement. Sorry, right there, plus. Now look at this. It says purchase or exchange. You guys know what a 1031 exchange is, right? All right. So the second part is for an exchange. And it says select only one. You can't do both, so select only one. So on a purchase is not an exchange, then plus goes right there. I have paid to our realtors. I not too long ago I did it. I bought a house up in Pompano Beach, and I gave him a bonus of $10,000, and I was the buyer. And he got to keep both sides of the fence, but I wanted that house. I didn't want to lose it. So because you know it's competitive out there when you find something of great value. He'll come up, he's also an investor, and God knows where to go. So I didn't want to lose it. So I said, look, you're going to get both sides. You're now my realtor working for me. Besides, you know, you work for Partnership Realty, but now you're my realtor on this house, and I'm giving you a $10,000 bonus. Do you think I locked that deal? Heck yeah. I locked that deal. I wanted to sign that day. I go, if you don't give it, you're the 10,000. I will reduce the 10,000 by 1,000 each day. All right. He got it signed that day, and boy, did I get an email. You owe me 10 grand. You know. So, all right. But this is how you'll write it up. Now let's talk about a lease. Look here. This also represents when you're representing a rental. So look, you know Partnership Realty charges what? $125, correct? Where do you put the $125? I haven't had a realtor yet. That has barked, that their client has barked at $125 is what Partnership Realty charges. Now, if you guys put $1,250 there, or $5,000, not $5,000, $500, $800, do you think that they might say something? Yep. Or $1,500. You think they might say, but $125? So now, are you making a true 100% commission on your? We are a true 100% commission company. You just need to know how to fill this out right. And here I'm showing you guys how to do it. This represents who? Your tenant or your buyer. How do you fill it out? If it's a if it's a tenant, obviously nothing goes up here, right? Right. But what if it's a tenant? It goes down here. Look, lease. This could be for residential or commercial. It doesn't matter. And we charge, what, $125 for commercial real estate deals. And we pay some some huge commissions on commercial real estate. Imagine someone going out there and just leasing out half or all that 400 acres. Are you kidding me? You know how much money you're going to make? So what do we charge? There it is. This is where you put it at. And any bonuses.
Commercial and residential.
But you put it under plus. All right? So now there's a protection period. A protection period, again, helps you with the procuring costs. So the procuring cost means that you're the one that went and showed that property. I love it when I show a property and, you know, I'll show you where in a minute. I'll show you where in a minute. All right. This helps you with the procuring costs, that somebody went after the fact and now went and bought the same property that you showed them, so I have a protection period there for 180 days. I really don't want any more than 180 days, okay? I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. I'm just trying to tell you guys how to be ethical. That's it. Just do things politely, kindly, but professionally. And you guys are entitled to make your money and your commission, especially when you've done nothing wrong, okay? But let's just do it correct. We're not going to put 1 year, and we're not going to put 5,000. Well, get into that one for a second. All right, let's talk about, darn it. Let's talk about, right here, termination date. Termination fee. That's a big one, guys. That's a big one. I've seen 30,000, depending on the sales price of the home. If you know your commission's 30 grand, I've seen 30,000, I've seen 25, not from Partnership Realty Realtors, okay? Not from us. I've seen it from other office, all right? I've seen $10,000 and $5,000. Why have I seen these things? Because you've brought them to me to get them canceled. Because the client no longer wants to work with you, okay, and now wants to work with him. Okay, for some reason, something went wrong between you guys. I don't know what it was. I don't know where you're not answering the call. God knows what the case may be. I don't know. But the client's got the right to go and seek help from someone that he or she knows that they're going to be, you know, they're going to give them the right, help and professionalism and guidance and everything, okay? They got the right. So I've seen it from other office. I don't want to see it from Partnership Realty because in the first place, I'm not going to back it up. I'm going to let you know right up now. I'm going to let you know right up front. I am not backing it up. So I'm not supporting you. Man, this will hurt you more than what you think it's going to help you. Oh, no, I'm going to strong arm this guy. No way. They'll write up a review about you, and then they're going to write about me? I didn't do anything. So why should I get, yes, the broker is just as bad as the realtor, and blah, blah, blah. And, some of them are really good with writing up good scripts, right? They'll put up some good scripts. They should be like in Hollywood, writing up some phenomenal scripts, all right? I've seen them, all right? So, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it's not us. All right, so let's go back to this. $1,500. If you want to put something in, guys, don't be abusive. $500. Do you know me? I'll let you go. If you tell me you don't want to work with me, I'll go, it was a really pleasure meeting with you, sir. You are absolutely free to go. That's me. That's me. Okay, but a lot of people, what if you spent gas money already with them, right? They've been window shopping with you for I don't know how long, right? And you bought X amount of lunches. All right, we'll go back to it, $500. If you spend more than $500 on this client, they're taking you for a ride. I'm telling you, wake up, man. Wake up. Wake up. They wake up. They are just spending the weekends with you, just like hanging out with you. Man, let me know so I can hang out with you too. We'll go to different places. You buy me lunch, and I'm going to go to some nice places, okay? So you're going to buy me lunch to some really nice places. So I don't know, please. I'm leaving this one up to you. Look at the word I'm using, please. 15 if you want. I don't want it to be more than 15. I still think 15 is abusive. Listen, I want your opinion back on this. Listen, your fellow workers are not going to think bad about you. What do you guys feel?
Nothing. I don't write.
Who said that? Me and you were identical.
That's the same thing.
Me and you are identical.
0.
Me and you are identical.
Unless you paid like 3 or 4
for marketing, stuff like that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I totally agree. You put it in a magazine and you spent $1,000, $1,200 to market for an entire month or 2 weeks or whatever. Yes, ma'am. I agree.
Isn't there a clause in there that says that your expenses can be recovered?
Absolutely. You write a check, correct? So, and you'll collect it at closing. Now, it can't be for the appraisal. It can't be for the insurance, but it could be for marketing. It could be for home inspections. It could be for numerous things, right?
By putting zero in there, you're not hurting yourself.
You're not hurting yourself, right? Yeah. But I would probably put, I would probably go under additional terms that I am going to be putting it in the magazine, blah blah blah, and it was going to be charges to be collected at closing. I will put it right there in the additional terms. I'm sorry? Or upon cancellation. Yes, you're very good. You should be up here with me. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to go over.
When I went to broker school and I held my broker's license, I realized the toughest part about being a broker isn't learning how to run your office and manage your people and all that. It's trying to help them get out of the messes that they get into.
Yes, ma'am.
That we've all gotten into that either weren't our fault or we didn't know could even happen.
You know what the most beautiful part is? You know what I always say to all of our realtors? I don't mind you calling me. You know why? Because I don't want...
It's better than being in trouble.
It's better than being in trouble. I am available 7 days a freaking week. I will call you. It's got to be that I've got really booked that day, but I'll be calling you the next morning. I'll be calling you the next morning. So, guys, that was the big one there for me. Just, I don't know. I like 500 or zero.
I like zero.
I like zero.
How much the broker collects?
Huh?
Out of the cancellation fee, how much the broker collects?
I'm not going to collect anything. But again, let me answer that one really clearly. If I see you start doing $1,500 on every client, I am out. I am out. Because I don't want any money, but I don't want the reputation of Partnership Realty being ruined. So that's not going to happen. If I start seeing $1,500 on this or $5,000, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. I'll let you guys know up front. I have not been doing this long. I have not got the reputation I've got because I've been an abusive broker. I am not, and I will not allow it. All right? So I might see it when we are collecting that we're doing some special footage, videos and then marketing and stuff like that. Yes. You know how much I want out of that? Zero. But if I start seeing that you are writing up, strong-armed, agreements, no, you're not. You might want to find another office. It's just that it's not us. Do you know we make more money by being kind, good, helpful, polite, professional, you name it. There's a ton of you guys in here that I know personally. A ton of you guys, and you guys do phenomenally well. Why? Because of who you are. I mean, ethics is everything. Ethics is everything. Professional is everything. So I know we've been on that topic for a while because you could tell I'm really, I'm really big on that one. All right. So.
Ismael, and the examples that you have there, they are in the files.
No, they're blank. But this class, you can watch it on where I showed you PR classes. You can watch this class again. English and Spanish. All right, so look, I'm the type of guy, I don't know if you notice it. I'm sure you guys all have. I repeat myself so darn much. Right? Don't you get tired of me sometimes? No. Man, you've said it 8 times, move on. There's a reason I freaking say it 8 times. Yeah, ma'am. So look, I'm the same way with my paperwork. If I put in here that I'm charging plus $695, look at this one here. Look at this here. See, I don't care if you read English or you don't read English. You can tell numbers. All right? When you saw that $695 in there twice, you better have asked questions. And the law says, hey, if you don't know what the heck you're signing, don't sign it. All right? But look, if I put in there, buyer will pay partnership realty regulatory compliance fee of $695 at closing. I just repeated myself. You know why? Because I avoid brain damage, headaches, and problems like it's a flu. Can't say COVID anymore. It's the flu. Nowadays we say the flu. It used to be, I forget, I don't know what it used to be. Anyway, so any more questions on that one so we can move on? Because there's 3 of them. The other ones are shorter, and then it becomes a lot shorter.
Yeah, I have a question. You know, I have co-listing now, so for this one, do I just ask another broker to sign this same form because you keep moving at the bottom?
Yeah.
How do we sign?
Yeah.
Or they need to also do their broker's form?
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask you a question. When you say co-broker or partnership realty or another office?
Another office.
No, you need a referral agreement on that one. Get the referral agreement.
Okay, just
Get the referral agreement and add in the broker in there. Yeah, add in the other brokerage firm and have them sign it. By the way, if you guys can read this, here, let me show you. And Grace, thank you. That was a great question you just asked. Thank you for that. Let me show you, excuse me, let me show you guys something. Who needs to initial all those pages and who needs to sign it? Let's read it together. Authorized associate or, look at that word or in there. Ha, you missed that one, huh? Broker. I want you guys to sign it. I trust you guys. In 27 years, we've had minimum to no problems. Thank you, Realtors. Thank you, guys. You guys. Thank you, you guys, okay? So I allow you guys to sign it. I authorize you guys to sign it. You guys don't need to send it to me. I'm going to sign it anyway. But if you guys already signed it, it's not going to give me a section on e-signing to sign, so I can't, it won't allow me to do it. It won't allow me to do it to complete it. So if you sign it, that's enough. Okay?
Yeah, I know you know. I already sent you several referral forms for you to sign. So
yes, referral forms are different.
So that form you must be signed, but this form you don't need to sign.
This form here, I think that probably now, it's a referral agreement. You're working with someone else. Yeah. Unless they want to be in the MLS. Then the list, but we're talking a buyer's agreement here. This is buyers, not listing.
Yeah, we were talking about both parts.
Okay, and for listing, it has got to read in the listing agreement, and then the listing agreement is completely different to this. Completely different. The paperwork for listing agreement is completely different to this. Okay, so then, so we can show the MLS that we want both brokerage firms on there. Yes, ma'am, that's allowed. But this is a buyer's brokerage exclusive listing agreement.
Yeah, I know. So for the buyer side,
exclusive listing agreement, I said.
For the buyer side, what I sent you is only the referral form. I already.
Yes, ma'am.
I come here today just want to make sure everything is fine because you know I was in China.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So for the buyer side, I signed this form. And for the referral form, I sent you for your signature. Then I sent you.
Yeah, for the referral, I really need to get. Yeah, you want the brokers to sign to keep it really, really.
Listing side, if I'm a co-listing, I put the other broker's agent onto the ML listing. So in the exclusive listing agreement, both of us name should be on the listing, or I just put an additional term saying a co-listing with another agent in.
Yeah, and the referral form too.
And the referral form too.
Absolutely.
So I need to put an additional term and a referral form into that.
Yeah, we want their information of the other brokerage firm. Yeah, exactly. And the referral form.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, excellent.
For this form, do we need to give it to the buyer or proposed data?
Yes, ma'am. Everything needs to. And you know what the great thing about all this is? We can email it to them. We can actually email it to them.
Because I only give, because I have clients, like I mentioned, that I'm working with. I only hand the other form saying that,
That needs to be handed to them. That needs to be.
Is it too late? I mean,
No, not at all. You got the dates on it already and send it over to them.
You know how like buyers usually.
No, send it over to them and have them respond saying that they received the email. And be specific about what you sent over there. So that way they can't say they don't have it.
Does I have a showing coming up when I go?
Yeah, this is something that can get done. Or if you hand it to them, let's take a look here. You know in the exclusive listing agreements, it shows whether it's emailed or handed in person. Let's take a look here. So just make sure they can sign it, and you can put down, what's presented to them in person, and they'll initial it and date it. Remember, initial. Anytime there's an initial, there's a date required. Okay, so just look at all this section right here. You got a little huge white section. Hand delivered to Mrs. blah 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 or Mr. blah 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 on certain date. They're going to sign it, initial, date, or sign and date. Okay, if you're going to do it hand delivered. Okay. Sorry, Andre. Oh no, sorry. I am first.
Thank you. In this exclusive buyer's agreement, the first part we have the parties, right?
Yes, sir.
What happens if there is a change in the process?
Modification.
Modification.
Yeah, we'll go over that for a sec. A lot of people do that. I really don't know why. I mean, that one's beyond me. They put it in their name, okay, and then they want to modify it into their LLC.
Exactly.
I mean, that one's beyond me. Just put it in your LLC from the beginning. If it's going to cause a problem, it's going to cause a problem 2 weeks down the road,
Or they start working as a couple because they want to run their credits, they wanted to buy together. But at the end of the road, before the closing, they say, you know what? I'm not going to be part of the title. I don't want to be.
Why? Can I ask? Look, that's a question that always has been in my mind about people's behaviors. Okay, why? No, seriously, why? Okay, here, let me say something else to you guys, so you guys can actually educate your clients a bit better. You can go ahead, because if it's going to inconvenience the listing agent and the seller, that's the last thing that I want to do. Our job is to try to make this the most pleasant experience for this buyer and this seller and the listing agent and everybody involved as possible. Now, you guys know that's hard as heck to do, right? But we can do it. We've done it. Tú lo sabes. We've overcome it many a times. Okay? Many a times have we overcome it. All right? Go ahead and buy it in your name, and then we'll just switch it over into the LLC. There you go. Just switch it over into the LLC down the road.
Exactly.
Why inconvenience? Because I'll tell you guys something. There are listing agents that are, and I was talking with the realtor over the weekend about this, right? So there are listing agents that they don't sell so much real estate. They don't get educated as we do, correct? They live towards certain areas that there's just not a lot of movement in real estate. There's very little movement there. And any little change to that contract scares the living gajibis out of them, and we're not doing anything illegal. It's all completely legal. Completely legal. But it scares the living gajibis out of them. All right, forget about other people that are in the midst, here in the states of Florida. Some of them right here in our East Coast, they don't have the education. They don't know what the heck they're doing, and it scares the living life out of them. Just tell your client, sir, just leave it in your name. When we close, I'll get the title company to put it in your LLC. No big deal. You see what I mean? Title company's going to own it regardless. LLC is going to own it regardless. You're taking, if it's to take liability off, right? And for tax purposes and stuff like that, just switch it over into the LLC. I don't know.
But that has to be done before closing.
No, it could be after closing.
But that's going to be a quick claim deed that you're talking about. It's going to trigger the
who?
Cost.
The who?
With the
for the closing?
Lender, I'm talking to.
Oh, in the beginning, yeah, during the process.
Change title from personal to LLC.
Yeah, that's because the lender.
The lender.
That's because that's going to be only an investment property. And that's because the lender has requested for the property to be switched over to an LLC, because that's the only way they'll finance it. That is the only way they'll finance it. That's completely understandable. And the lender can call up the listing agent and say, look, this is the way it needs to be titled. So a lender can help out with that. But we're talking about cash deals that people at the very end or during the time, they want to switch it over into an LLC. Why? You know, I mean, why? We'll just do it afterwards. But on financing, you guys should know for these loans, for these finance loans for investments, they really want to do them. Not all hard equity loans, but the majority of them, they want LLCs. They want LLCs. So you might as well title it from the get-go in the beginning. Sorry, when you submit the offer in, submit it in with the LLC, because you're going to have to switch it over anyway. You know. So any questions here on this?
So on compensation on number 7.
Let me go back. I could do this. Okay. Go ahead.
Let's say you have the initial conversation with your buyer. Okay, we don't know if the seller will compensate me, so we're gonna put 2% here. So you find a property that the seller is compensating, and you're happy with that compensation. So now you implement the modification to take off that 3% from this contract.
Yep. Yeah, you're getting paid. You're getting paid by the seller. You're getting paid by the seller. Now, let me ask you a question on that modification. We haven't gotten into it yet, but what if they're paying only 1%, and you got up to 3%? You can still collect 2% on your buyer, but would you? Is my question. But would you? But would you? That's I look at Grace. I know her, and she is a phenomenal realtor, okay? And I have high respect for her. And her head just point blank. Me, I'm identical to you. My head would be doing this. I wouldn't. If they're paying me 1%, no.
Yeah, I just want to say, I just want to know whether or not my operation was right. Usually, I only do the showing agreement with my clients.
It's fine.
So when they decide to submit the offer, I use the exclusive, just like we do the listing. So when at that time you know exactly the commission fee you will get from the seller side, so you avoid the problem you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So exactly you got all the commission from the seller side and without hurting your clients.
Right.
Because if you collect
exactly.
Files, you may lose a referral.
Exactly. Can I would like to applaud that one. I would like to applaud Grace.
We couldn't really understand what she was saying.
Not a problem. We both agree that if they're only paying 1%, the listing agent's paying 1%, correct? And you have up to 3% there, so you're allowed to collect 2% from your buyer. But would you? We agree that we wouldn't, because we believe, and that's why she's been in business so long and she's such a successful realtor. We believe that that's going to hurt you getting referral and making hundreds of thousands more dollars with those clients and their referrals. That's what we believe. That's what I believe. So I wouldn't. I will go with my 1% or 1.5% or 2%, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to go charge them the other percentage.
What was the part she was talking about?
That's exactly it.
No, she was saying something that makes it unnecessary to, like something that doesn't hurt either party. Like if you go.
Well, that's what she's saying. This doesn't hurt either party. That's exactly what she said. This does not hurt either party.
What I'm saying is you should agreement to follow the required documents.
Right.
Yeah, but you use this one to make exactly the very clear with the offers you submitted to the seller.
But
so you don't need to change anything. Just like
no, but this right here, this one, oh darn it, I closed it. Sorry, that was on the other one. Remember the CABB1 and CASB1? Those are the ones that you're going to use. Okay, those are the ones you use when you submit your offer. Now I'm going to ask you guys a question about submitting offer. I've had our realtors call me up and say, Ismael, they're asking me for the compensation disclosure. The listing agent is. And they're asking me for, my buyer's brokerage agreement. That's got nothing to do with you, listing agent. This is between me and my buyer, and I already clicked to the showing time. I already clicked yes that I've got it. So I've notified our leaders. Who's our leaders? NAR and MLS. I've already said yes. If not, I wouldn't have gotten your showing agreement. Do you have to disclose this to them? No, you don't. You don't have to give them anything. Okay, well, listen, listing agent. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I like that. I like that.
No, seriously. Come on, this is not a one-way highway. I have not met, there's no, maybe up in the mountains somewhere, up in freaking Central America, South America or something like that. Or no, on the Carolinas here, some areas here, there's some small little stretchy roads about this wide. Those are one-ways. Only car can go in at one at a time, all right? Those are one-ways. But this is not a one-way relationship. You want me to show you my disclosure? Okay, you're going to send me the listing agreement, and I want to see it. So, yeah, I have no problem sending you mine. Everything I'm doing is legal anyway, but I want to see yours. Oh, I can't show you mine. Then why the heck are you calling me to see mine? Why can't you show me yours? You see what I mean? You're dealing with there you're going to have to take a deep breath, get a cup of tea, because you know who you're dealing with right there, all right? Get a cup of tea. Don't get coffee, because you're going to get all riled up, and you're going to want to go in there and tear them apart. Okay, get a cup of tea, put on some night chill music, meditation music. Okay, ma'am, how are you? Yeah, you were saying, and then just go with that therapy. Remember, because we are psychologists. You are. Are we psychologists or not therapists, mental therapists?
This and raising kids makes you.
Kids are babies compared to friggin' adults in the business world. What? Man, I'll take a friggin' daycare any day long before I take on one adult that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about in the real estate world. Give me a daycare. I'll have those children playing, and they're easy. But a nonsensible adult, holy jeez. Like I said, can you hold on a quick second? I just got to get this call. Then you put on that nice meditation music. You got your cup of tea. Good morning. That's how you'll handle it, because you don't want to lose the deal, because we are professionals. God gave us the gift to handle any walk of life, anybody that comes in front of us, okay? God gave us that intelligence and the professionalism to do that.
On my case, I can always give it to them right before sitting.
To who? To the listing agent? You don't have to.
To my clients to sign.
Yes. And they need copies of the first one, compensation disclosure, and they need copies of one of these three that we're going to go over. This is the most complex one, but this is the one that offers you the most amount of protection. Yep. The other ones are very simple. Okay? Yeah.
Question. What if the leasing agent is, paying 3%? And I put in the buyer brokerage agreement that I'm going to charge 4%, and I don't want to charge to my buyer 1%.
Then don't, because it goes back to what we were talking about. We're not going to charge them. We're not going to charge them. I wouldn't. I'm going to settle. Listen, I'm going to settle with what they're offering me.
The question is, can I modify that and write down that I'm going to
charge the additional 1%?
No. I wrote down in the buyer brokerage agreement that I was going to charge 4%.
Yes.
But the leasing is paying 3%.
Yes.
And I don't want to charge that.
Yeah, that's what the modification is for. Yep. That's exactly what the modification is for. Yeah, exactly. So any other questions here, guys, on this? We're going to show you the showing agreement. Showing agreement is like a lot simpler, okay? And showing agreement is a lot simpler. And but it's the same identical thing. Same identical thing. With a lot of coverage still, okay, but not as much. All right? So client's name, time period, partnership realty, And here, if you want to put in, again, single family and the counties, or if you already have houses selected, I would recommend putting in the houses that you select right there. I recommend. Boy, does that protect you. That really protects you. Okay, with the actual addresses. So I would do that. Okay, so pretty simple. So pretty much the same thing. Same thing here, guys. 3%. We already went over that. $695. We already went over that, or a bonus. Okay, because if I'm selling his house and he's my my buyer, like I said, I've paid bonuses before. Many times. Because when I want a property, I'm not going to let him take my property from you. I am going to get aggressive. Instead of making $185,000, people, you know, money moves the world here. Okay, so instead of making $185,000, I'll make $175. Right? Instead of me making $85, I'll make $75. Instead of me making $50, I'll make $40. But I'm not losing that $40,000. Even if they're your best friend, I don't know, they'll still go behind your back. I don't know, guys. Let's move on. And okay, so same scenario. When you're representing a lease, a rental, look how easy it is. I haven't had one realtor yet that has come up to me and said, Ismael, you are an Einstein. I've met intelligent individuals in my life, but you're one of them. You know how you told me put $125 there? I lost the client because of you. Guys, no one's going to bark at $125. Real clients know, tenants know, that they got to put first, last, security, HOAs, and all that. That's an office fee right there, $125. But I will promise you they'll bark at you if you put $1,250. I get to this angle. Then I will repeat it again. As you guys know me, I love repeating. And then who's going to sign this? You guys. Who's going to put the initials? You guys. Oops, that won't let me change it. Let me move it here. You guys will. Okay? So, if you guys look at this here, it says authorized associate / broker. So who can sign it? You? And now this one here, is a little bit different. Look at this. This one here will give you the option, personally delivered, mail, you know, or you can put email, you know, just / over, put email, and the date. Now that one gives you the option of, you know, that you emailed it to them, plus you got the confirmation that you really did email it to them. Plus you got the confirmation, right? So again, initials, you guys. Who's doing the initials? You guys, right? This is the same, this is a replica. This is a replica of exactly of the other one. I'm not going to get into, because we've gone over this already on the where is it? So see here, that's for the arbitration, dispute arbitration, and well, you can't. Oh, there it is. Darn it! And I didn't highlight it. I'm so sorry. But can you guys see it there? I didn't highlight it. Right there. Okay, the retainer. I'm not in favor of that one. You guys already know how I feel about that. I'm not going to go into it. But again, it you know, you got it right there, right?
Yeah, that was my question about that.
About the retainer, yeah, I did. Sorry, I didn't highlight that.
It says it's payable for execution of that document right there.
Man, I know. I'm not in favor of it, guys. You're not going to get my blessing.
Yeah, that's for sharks, man.
Yeah, that's, you know, those are real small office. And that's what you're, I guarantee you, those are really, no, those are real small office with some brutal leadership. Brutal leadership, okay? That's all it is. And that will get around. That will get around. So don't do that. Please, I ask. I'm not telling you guys you don't do it, but you're not gonna have me backing you up on this one here. So who's going to sign all this? You guys. Yeah, you guys want to make me sign it, right? It gets, look how quick that one was, right? Was that quick or what? Now, let me show you. It's 1 out of 3. This is pre-touring. We already went over the pre-touring, but go ahead.
The reason I like to go with the retainer may not be valid anymore if I can say in the agreement that whatever expenses I incur can be recouped whether they buy something or not.
I agree with you, and have receipts for it. Because you want to show value, and they need to know it up front. That's what this document is for. I'm telling you, people think that these documents now from NAR are actually working against the realtor. They're not. They're actually protecting realtors. It's unbelievable. This is, I love it. So, pre-touring. Someone called me over the internet. I'm going to go show it. Okay? But then, when they come here to see the property, I'm going to get that showing agreement or exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement, one of the two. Okay, pre-touring right there, open house, something like that. You know, same thing. Look at this. You know, it's a 3%, $695, and boy, that's it on that one. But you guys do know you need one of those 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is, so we can close this out. What if they're going to a builder? Do you need one of those 3?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we already agreed that we need the compensation disclosure, right, for a builder. Do we need this one? Well, we already agreed, yes, that we do. So now we know 2 documents that are freaking mandatory. And the builder doesn't need them because they're not governed by NAR. Okay? So let's go down. Who signs? Why do I keep saying that? Because I don't want you guys to send it to me, right? Oh, you guys haven't caught the hint yet?
I just did.
You just did? Viste que tuve que decírtelo? You know, we're going to do I'm going to show you guys afterwards. We're going to do a class that's going to be called the Spanglish. No, I swear to God. Have you seen the new one? It's in English, Spanish, and Creole. I'm going to put another category in there, Spanglish. I really am. I am. No other office has it. Tell me another office has classes in Spanglish. Well, we are. I promise you. I'm going to do them, and I'm going to put the category up there, Spanglish. So, because I want to bounce back and forth. I think it's going to be fun. All right, so here, guys, when you go to, this is either CABB1 or CASB1, all right? This is when you go to submit your offer. When you submit your offer, one of these 2 documents need to be in there. Remember, we asked the 4th question, who's paying commission? Seller or broker? Now we know it's the seller, or we know it's the broker. So if it's the broker, it's going to be, look, it's right down here. You guys see that right there? CABB1? That's broker to broker. All right? So this is the way it's going to get filled out. ABC Realty, Partnership Realty. There is the property address that I'm submitting an offer on. There is the client's name. You're going to put the client's name. Guys, this is so much protection for you guys. It is freaking unbelievable. What NAR has done with the DOJ that got signed in November 26 of 2024, we have to applaud them. We have to thank them. What they've done is help realtors protect their jobs even more. Okay? So this is phenomenal. Anyway, I like putting down 120 days, no more than 120. Why? Because I've seen 4 extensions sometimes on one purchase, you know, where the lender is 4 freaking extensions. So if you want to put 90 days, that's fine. 60 days, that's also fine. 30 days, if you know it's going to close in 30 days, then you put 30 days there, okay? So you could always modify it and extend it. Then you're going to put here, what commission are they giving you? They already told you the broker's paying for it, and they already told you 2.5, so what goes right there? 2.5. What if they say, I want to ask you a question. What if they say, we're only paying you $3,000 or $4,000. It goes right here under flat fee. And now comes your question. Do you want to charge your client or not? Totally up to you. Because you went all the way up to 4%. You went up to 3%. And they're only paying $3,000. So you might want to go back and say, look, I want $2,000, you know. I mean, don't use those specific words I used, because they're gonna, you know, that's so rude. You're gonna be gentle and polite about it, and you're gonna say, well, listen, you know, come up with any story you want. Come up with a nice story. I've got plenty of stories. I've got plenty of stories. I just don't want to say them right now. I think that you guys are creative enough. I think you guys are creative enough to handle that one on your own. I don't want to get into it. So anyway, so I don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be 2%, 2.5%, 3%? I don't know. But this is where you're going to put it at. Why? Because this is how the title company or the attorney knows, okay, that you're getting paid and how much you're getting paid. Got it? So this is for what? Broker to broker, right? Remember? Now, let's come down here. Oh, we don't need anything else like put in there, buyer will pay partnership, realty, regulatory and compliance. No, because it's got nothing to do with the buyer. This has got to do with who? The broker to broker or seller to broker on the commission. Then who's going to sign? Look, it says buyer's broker, okay? And you're going to initial there. Look what it says, broker or who? Authorized associate. So guys, if you want to send it to me, I'm fine with it. If you don't want to send it to me, I'm even more finer. Is that a word, more finer? You like that one? That's a Spanglish. Listen, I am more grateful. How about how grateful, all right, that you don't send it to me? Because it's one more thing to do. Yeah. I know so much work, right? I will show you. I need to do Spanglish. Yeah. All right, so look, what if it's the seller who is paying the commission? That's your document right there. It's identical. It's identical to the CABB one. If you can see here, it's CASB1. So it's commission agreement seller to buyer's broker. See, seller to buyer's broker. But guys, if you look at it, you can put 90 days, 45 days. I don't know. You can always modify it when you get an extension anyway, right? You got to modify it when you're going to get an extension. And then who's going to broker or who's going to sign this? You. I am so rude today.
Just a quick question. So in that form also we can include what I asked you before, if the seller is willing to, I mean, it's not willing to.
Some are. Some are.
Yeah.
If I'm offering you.
Cost, I'm talking about.
Oh, no. No. Closing cost, this is commission only.
Yeah.
Closing cost is going to go on your contract.
Right.
But I got
have to disclose that the seller is willing to pay.
Yes, that's right there. Seller's going to pay 6%, 5%, 4%, 3% of buyer's closing costs and prepaids at closing.
Yeah, that's going to
be on the contract.
Not
no, this is your commission.
Okay.
Or our commission. Okay? So I've had sellers that said, get me full price and you got yourself $10,000 bonus. That better be here. That better be on that document. So if it's either the seller paid or buyer paid. I don't know who. It's either CABB1 or CASB1. But it's got to go on that document because that's the commission that's going to be paid to you. Got it? There are commissions. I'm telling you, there are bonuses. There are bonuses. I've seen sellers where they said, listen, if you get closes within 30 days, seller's going to give you a $5,000 bonus. Where do you think you're going to write that at?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Right there.
Now,
all right?
those bonuses cannot be advertised at the listing.
No.
Not anymore. Before.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, they did. Yeah. Oh no, you'll. No, they'll get you quick on that one. MLS will come.
Is there a place to write in what you just said?
I'm sorry?
Is there a place to write in that additional clause?
Well, in the showing agreement. Oh, here, let's take a look. Oh, darn it! I had this in my back pocket. Sorry. And now I really messed this up.
So not even in the broker remarks allowed anymore to put it
No.
in that. Bonus.
No.
Nothing in them.
No, nothing that's got to do with compensation. Nothing with compensation. Repairs, no. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes. I'm sorry.
I just, so many questions that try to.
It's a lot. I know.
So the compensation, we know we gotta be clear who's gonna pay where.
Yes, sir.
But the bonus that we're talking about, so that will be.
Right there. See it? Other terms.
Other terms.
Right there. And they are on both forms. Either the broker to broker or seller to broker. Broker to, it doesn't matter. Right there. Right there. If I am offering you, but then we got to go back and modify. Look at this. We got to go back and modify my buyer's brokerage agreement, right? And if I'm offering you, because my buyer just went berserko, I got to have this house and I'm going to offer $100,000 over. Do you guys, do you think that that's possible or not? 100? How about 200,000 over?
Well, if it's a $10 million property.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to say 10 million, but we're going to go into the millions. We'll go into the millions. All right, luxury home. And yes, they really want it. So if I'm giving you $200,000 extra, $250,000 extra, Ismael might, I'm his agent. Ishmael might be thinking about asking for a bonus here. But then I got to go modify, okay? I got to go modify my buyer's brokerage agreement because I have to let him know, or them, or her, that I am getting an additional, I'm getting an additional, I don't know, 10 grand, $5,000.
Will you have to notify?
Your buyer. You got to modify it, let them know that. It is, this world now in the realtor world is called full disclosure. Disclosure. You must let them know it. You must let them know that it's called full disclosure. That's what all this is about. Now, what if the buyer comes back and says, "Oh, so you're making my $200,000 $10,000, huh? Wow, you're pretty good. I think that I might want that." So I see you doing, like when you're playing blackjack and stuff like that, you put on that little beanie, and start negotiating right there. Okay, so what if I don't know. That's where the negotiation comes in between them. What if we split it? What if they want it? I'm not buying without it. I want that 10 grand because I'm paying 200 over. I see you doing this. Here you go. Wouldn't you? You're making a huge commission. You tried. It didn't work. You tried. Sir, it's not coming out of your pocket. You're my buyer. It's not coming out of my pocket. Your pocket. He's willing to give it to me. Yeah, but I'm putting $200,000 in there, and I'm also putting, $80,000 in your commission to you. And I'm having to put $200,000 to get this property, and I want 100. That'll bring them down to 190. So I'm going to close the deal. The client is number one. The client is most important, right? Yeah. There's no arguments in that one. Last form. Very last form. Let's take a look at this one. Here you go. The modification. What is that? What if it doesn't close? Sorry, it came out wrong. What if the appraisal doesn't come in? And this is where the commissions are modified. All right? And this is where you modify it with your buyer as well too, or your seller. Sellers got their own modification forms, which we're going to be going over them next week. But this is on the buyer side. All right, so you were asking me a little earlier if you want to put in 1% there. And I'm sorry, they're paying X amount of dollars and you want to charge, I don't know, say they're paying $3,000 and you want to charge $2,000. So you're going to put it in there, okay? Right there, you know. And again, the $695 stays. That's the plus. That's our processing fee. Protection period 180 days. Cancellation. Like I said, I've seen people put cancellations all the way up to whatever their commission amount is. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Totally, you've got this property under contract, and I've seen people, okay, buyers just back out, you know, days before closing. All right, I think you earned your commission on that one there. So this entitles you, okay, and the exclusive brokerage agreement as well, the buyer's agreement entitles you to be able to go and collect from that buyer who now says, I changed my mind. I've seen that so many times. Do you want to enforce it? Totally up to your call on that one. But these documents are for these individuals that change their mind. Just like sellers. I've seen sellers, doesn't happen a lot, just change their minds and say, I don't want to sell. So these documents help us that we didn't waste our time, okay, that we can go back and collect. Because now we got true documents. I mean, true agreements, contracts. You see what I mean?
That's why it's very important to disclose.
Absolutely.
Disclose that if they back up.
Yeah.
Something happens, you gotta pay.
Yeah. Termination agreements, again, you know, leave it up to you guys, but I don't want, that and that are pretty much the same thing. But, you know, I want it to be fair, okay? I don't want it to be unfair. Then we're going to take it by case, but this has to be signed up front, okay? Now, here's the other one. Cancellation, let's say this one here is one I like the most. This one here is the most I like the most. So in your case, Andre, that you had, there's another realtor that sold same client, another property somewhere else. But say they don't want to buy over there, but they do have a buyer's brokerage agreement signed with another realtor, but that doesn't have to be another county. It could be right here. It could be right here. How do we cancel it? Well, we need to see a copy of that buyer's. So the client should have it, because we need to give this document to the client. So the client will bring it to you. So the modification here, so the parties agree to conditionally terminate this agreement, you know, to consumer. So right there is one that I leave it up to you, but if I was to cancel, we're talking about canceling someone else's agreement now, all right? If I was to cancel it, I'm using this one, the one right underneath it. Why? Because it says broker and consumer agree to unconditionally. That one's conditionally. This was unconditionally terminate this agreement, okay? And the key word has always been unconditionally since the beginning of time in agreements when they're working with another realtor. So this is the one that has to get signed. And if I were you, that one's not going to get signed by you or the associate. Guess who's going to sign this one? We're talking about canceling, correct? Guess who's going to sign that one? I should have took that out. I would say broker to broker. Get the brokers to sign it, because that's canceling. But I did this class here, and that's as much as a cancellation. I was going to do that for a listing. Okay, but well, anyway, we're talking about it right now. This is the one that you want to use. Is unconditional. The key word is unconditional always. And then you know who's going to initial and sign all this stuff here? The two brokers. Yeah. So that way, one broker can't come back and say, well, I didn't give any authorization to my realtor to be able to sign this, and I didn't sign it. So make sure this one here.
This form is wrong then.
Oh, no, because I did this one as a buyer's, as canceling someone who's backing out of a contract. I didn't think I was going to get into this conversation. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the short version of all this. We can spend hours in here talking about this.
Which form are you referring to then?
This is the modification. But the modification was only going over when, as I mentioned before, when the property doesn't appraise, when God knows the financing doesn't come in. Listen, I've seen some horrible things, and so have you guys. I've seen some horrible things done by let me just be polite about this. I don't know how mysteriously, closing costs, the buyers don't have it. They should have gotten a good faith estimate in the beginning. And now they need an additional, say the appraisal came in perfect, and now they need an additional $12,000. And I see now realtors putting in from their commission. I see us, sellers assisting as well too. All parties assisting. I don't want to say that some lenders might do what's called a lowball to get on the good faith estimate to get the loan, and then hit them with the surprise at the end.
Sometimes insurance does that too.
Yeah, insurance is not going to be that much. You should probably know what the insurance is going to be, because you should be shopping that all the way from the beginning when you start out.
Right. I had one. If they have a water claim within the 5 years, there's a surcharge. And my one client had a $3,000 surcharge for the insurance. She didn't have that extra $3,000.
Yeah, there you go. That's where we're helping them. A lot of stuff can happen. But one thing that I do recommend on insurance is shop around. It's amazing how it changes from an agent to another one. And they're both using Citizen. Unbelievable, right? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So that's mysterious to me. Right. It is very mysterious. Okay. So anyway, no, the reason that you got this here from me is because now we're talking about canceling. We're ending our class by canceling another agency buyer's brokerage agreement that they signed, and now that client, for whatever odd reason, doesn't want to work with that realtor. They're not obligated. Okay? So we can negotiate this completely here. You want to come see me, but the one that we're going to mark is that. Listen, what you're going to do is, you're not going to do this on your own. You're going to come see me. But I'm just answering the question, that's the document we need. Besides that, they still need to send a text and an email saying that they no longer require their services. Okay? That and this.
Why would you use this form if the property doesn't appraise?
Because now the seller's not getting. So the seller says, I'm the seller, and I go, look, and you're my listing agent. I go, look, if I get $750,000 for this property, I have no problems paying 6%, 4%. Okay, and now it comes in for $687 or $695, $725. So I might. I can't give you that. I told you $750, I'm paying 5%. But you're not giving me $750. I'm only getting $725.
So this can be used both ways, with sellers or buyers.
Oh yeah. But this is the end of our class on buyers agreements. So any questions for you guys? Because I have to say ciao to everyone. Next class, next week, it's going to be on sellers. Yeah. Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.